let's just get this party started, guys. Somebody linked this in the Discord. Looks interesting. It's called The Saddest Couple on YouTube, Donovan Sharp Exposed. I am somewhat aware of Donovan Sharp. He's, you know, another embarrassing red pill YouTuber, but he got married to a woman with kids, and you know, he's a big advocate against, you know, women and women with kids. So it was funny when we watched his wedding, but now I'm curious about more stuff. So yeah, man, let's get this going. It's from Devon Ozzy. Obviously, link will be in the description. And if any moment of this video resonates with you, timestamp up below. Let's go.
There are a plethora of couples channels and family channels on YouTube. Some are better than others. A reoccurring theme in YouTube family and couple channels is drama. Whether manufactured or genuine, everyone knows scandals and drama gets attention, and how much more exciting is it when it's a couple channel that you, the viewer, have a parasocial relationship with? It's often hard to...
I feel like it's weird for couples channels to do this kind of stuff. I also feel like it's kind of almost dangerous. Not like dangerous, but dangerous for your relationship to be making couples channels unless you're really, you know, sure you want to be with the person, because then it makes you have a financial obligation that makes you kind of stay with somebody that you may not necessarily, you know, like anymore. And then it also puts the additional stressor on there of now you're, you know, even if you're in a really healthy relationship, it takes away some of those borders and those boundaries. You know, I love my wife, but we get away from each other with different things like doing work or hobbies, etc., etc. So if you know, overlap your work and your relationship, it could potentially have a negative impact on you.
Determine who is the same both off and on the camera. But that isn't necessarily a bad thing, as you'll soon find out. Some things are supposed to be kept off the internet. You know, intimate parts of your life, things that could embarrass you or your significant other.
Your wee-wee? Well, not anymore. You can do no F now.
Especially verbal and emotional abuse and things of that nature. Well, I found a couple that I'm willing to put the stamp of the worst couple to ever exist on YouTube, and I think by the end of this video, you will understand that this title isn't hyperbolic whatsoever. This couple not only lays everything bare, from their bedroom details.
In terms of the panties, I'm gonna pick 3 pairs of panties.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick 3 pairs of panties, and you guys can vote on those.
To their
What? Why? For vote of them for what? What are you gonna do with the panties?
Financial details to their live stream fights, however one-sided they might be.
What did you just say?
I don't know.
No, what did you say before that?
I said I'm trying here.
Did you just say I'm not a mind reader?
Yeah.
Okay, never say that to me again. You understand?
Yeah.
What? I understand. Why is that one triggered? I mean, I get pissed off in fights with my wife too, but why does that one really trigger him so much?
What's wrong with you?
But they also documented every part of their life built on lies. The first half of this couple we will be discussing is Donovan Sharp. Also known as Edward Hopkins, he sometimes goes by Eddie or Alex, which is his middle name, but some people actually call
But I thought you said women don't have hobbies. No. Women's hobbies are cleaning. And cleaning the house and cleaning the dishes and doing laundry. That's a woman's hobby. No, I'm kidding. Women's hobbies are all just sitting on your phone in bed rotting while you watch TikToks and don't do the actual job responsibilities you're supposed to do, or you know, actually enjoy yourselves. That's pretty much what it is. It's pretty much just sending TikToks to your boyfriend or, you know, husband or whatever you do. That's pretty much it. So
call him Dirty Eddie for reasons you'll find out later. But we need to delve deep into this guy because this sets the foundation of the relationship. You'll understand why he treats his wife the way he does on live stream for everyone to see. Uploads humiliating videos of her constantly, lies about her, him, and anything in between.
He uploads humiliating videos of his own wife. Does he not respect his wife? Oh, I mean, he's a red pill person, so of course not.
Why he scams his audience left and right. This guy right here is the future.
Probably because his content isn't paying off anymore. And he feels the need to interact with his audience like this. I mean, maybe it's not true. This guy has the wrong perspective on it, but I honestly wouldn't doubt it at all. A lot of these red pill guys, they got a lot of popularity when Andrew Tate was popular, and then when Andrew Tate stopped being popular, they all got dumpstered off, and people just got sick of it. It was always just, hey, let's make some kind of a short form, you know, TikTok or something that's just really hyperbolic and obnoxious, and people go, wow, this is so based, and then that's the entire content strategy, and there's been nothing else. So they never learned how to adjust to something of actual, you know, any level, like anything interesting.
Of everything bad you can think of in a person. Absolutely zero redeeming quality. There are timestamps in the description like I put in for every video, but I suggest you watch everything so you can really get into the ill mind of one Donovan Sharp.
Never endorse hitting a woman, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, well, this is Sharp stream, and I'm not going to endorse it anyway. But if Gigi were in front of me acting like that, dude, I'd have socked her.
What? Why? Why would you? What?
I'd have gave her a shiner. I'd have called my lawyer, Paul Powell. Yeah, Paul.
Oh.
I just broke my girl's orbital bone. Yeah. Yeah. You're going to need to get on down to the station. I would have hauled off and I would have just decked her. I would have made damn sure that she never talked that.
Wow, he's really feeling this. He really is living this fantasy of wanting to hit a woman. That's incredible.
That way to me.
I make some edgy little jokes here and there, but this guy really wants to hit a woman. He just knows he's not supposed to and he'll get arrested.
Yeah.
Donovan Sharp got his beginnings by writing for a website by the name of The Return of Kings in 2014. Think of this website as a subreddit for men who are struggling with women. Donovan has contributed
Struggling with, and think of it as a subreddit that's not going to help those men, but instead take advantage of them financially.
several controversial articles to the website focusing on men's rights, masculinity, and traditional gender roles. Of course, in the most dude bro way you can imagine. Titles like 5 reasons you should never date a single mother. The truth
He married a single mom. Here's, I mean, like, if you can't, I mean, that's a lot of responsibility to date a single mother. If you don't date a single mom because it's too much responsibility, that's totally fine. But no need to shame single parents in general.
About female hypergamy and why men should avoid marriage like the plague. Have all the tellings of a man who is scared of women and thinks they're all the same, evil, and out to get you. The story of how he began writing for Return of Kings reveals exactly what
it is interesting because there's this huge perspective out there that some men are saying of like, don't marry women. You shouldn't do it. They can take half of your this, that. It's always men who can't get married, so it's weird that they're saying it. I think it's just a cope. But like, yeah, they can take half of your stuff. But if you marry a woman, which you typically do, or kind of should if you can find a woman that you're in love with somewhat early on, you're building a life with that person. So like, you know, when I started dating my wife, I was doing a certain amount of I was making a certain amount of money at my job, and now with her long form, and the longer we're together, the better I am, or the more money that I'm making, the more successful I am. And my wife does help me with my content in different ways, shapes, and forms, and that's usually how it is. They'll take up on other tasks, like, you know, they might. Generally, a woman will sit there and they'll take care of the entire home and their husband and their kids, while a guy will be able to funnel all of his time, energy, and effort into work. Cool. But like, as a man, like, you were able to not have an entire responsibility of basically raising your kids or taking care of your house. So like, yeah, if you guys get divorced after 20 years, she deserves a significant portion of your money. Sorry, that's how life works.
This idea comes from. According to Donovan himself,
and it's the same if the roles were reversed, if the guy was the one working, you know?
He got into a relationship and a subsequent breakup with a woman in Vegas he was seeing. When she left him, she moved on in a week, and that caused him to look up why do women get over breakups so easily, and the rest is history. He wrote there for a couple of
I feel like women get over breakups less easily than men. What?
years.
It probably was just because he sucked and she got over him before, and that's not nice of her, but he was probably a shitty person to be with, and so she was over him before the breakup. And then, like, you know, I will say women maybe do this more often. They seem to find another person before they break up more, maybe. I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying things. Maybe I could see that, but I don't think they get over people easier. I feel like it takes them longer.
Started doing voice-only podcasts and later was approached by prominent YouTuber O'Shea Duke Jackson.
In dominating life.
Who the fuck that is?
With Donovan, you're not. Remember, I'm the one that called you when you were working at a warehouse in Reno.
When this happened around 2017, O'Shea asked Donovan to come write for him on the Black Manosphere site. Side note, most people, including O'Shea Duke Jackson, who work with Donovan Sharp, have either cut ties with him publicly and outright like O'Shea has, or abandoned him, for good reason, as you'll see soon. But
damn, he upset even the Red Pill podcast guys? Crazy.
the background of all of this, Donovan claimed he was leading a fast-paced lifestyle
What did he say, that he thought women were people?
in Vegas, banging strippers, 9s and 10s, snorting Coca-Cola, and living in a high-rise and owning 7 rental properties.
It was just it was like a 3.5-year magic carpet ride out there. And so my taste for women got very, very expensive. So anytime I did hit the street, if she was anything less than
This guy got addicted to spending money on women. That's like, insane.
an 8, I just couldn't get it up.
As we go along in this video, you'll see just how much of a lie that is. Also, he says he met the other half of this relationship, Devon, in 2016. She approached him after reading his material on Return of Kings.
Almost 10 years. Yeah. And I've been in a long-term relationship now for, God, what is it now? What did we get together? I met her in 16, committed to her in 17. We're at the 3-year mark. It's been almost 5 years since we met, man.
Wow.
Man.
Why the fuck is he doing Manosphere stuff? If what?
And that's incredible. So it's been, I met.
Maybe he just like vigorously disrespects her. Maybe that's his only saving grace, to stay in the Manosphere.
5 years ago, I didn't leave the game until I actually committed. Until I actually committed to her, because I was slaying other girls on the side.
Ooh.
They started dating and he trained her to be a suitable mate for him. Those are not my words. That's exactly how he puts it. He trained Devon to be a good little woman for him, and he actually brags about this.
Devon, I want you to put in your words, Devon, I want you, in your words, I want you to tell these men,
God.
these guys in here, the strategy that I used to keep you busy at night to prevent you from going out and getting. You are in the training program. I want you to describe to the men in detail,
What?
and you know what I'm talking about. I want you to describe to the men in detail in the chat what your nightly tasks were to keep you out of trouble.
Let's hear him.
In this snippet, he's
Wow. It's so interesting because I'm with my wife, obviously, and I want her, I think the long term here is that I want my wife to be a stay-at-home mom that takes care of, like, the chores and kids and whatnot, and I will still chip in here and there, obviously. That's my goal. But that's not a controversial way to express that goal. That's a normal human being. That's like, hey, guys, I want to make a lot of money and have my wife be a stay-at-home wife so she can kind of enjoy herself and prioritize us and the kids. It's not really a particularly hot take. This guy is saying the same thing I'm saying, except he needs to be the man about it. Oh, I train my bitch to just suck my dick and take care of the house. It's like, what is wrong with you? That's just disrespectful to your own, woman. That's really bizarre. But I feel like there is a trend with some of these manosphere guys where they will say something completely normal in the most provocative way ever. Like, the man's supposed to be the leader of the house. Like, okay. Like, yeah, men tend to be the ones that make the decisions for the unit, but like women should be able to advocate for themselves outside of that. Like, hey, I don't know if this is the right decision. Oh, okay. Like, which is how it is in my household. I make the decisions, and then my wife's like, might be like, oh, I don't necessarily agree with that, and then we'll talk about it. Not a big hot take. But it's like you're saying these two things they're just trying to say normal shit in a controversial way sometimes. It's just pathetic.
quite literally bragging to his audience that he had to employ training tactics for her to stop her from going.
Oh, thank you so much for the $5 from Iron Will 07, by the way. Hey, Papa, just wanted to stop in and say thank you. I plant your videos where I goon in the bathroom so people don't know that what I'm doing. Wow, that's a really good strategy, brother. Thank you for letting me know.
Going out and meeting up with other men. Not only is this humiliating for her, but you either think of her so lowly, or you're dating a woman that's actually that low and you have to do that. Either way, it's a lose-lose. But for some reason, to him, this is an epic display of alpha male training, but to any well-adjusted person, it's a man with serious and deep insecurities.
Yeah, for sure.
Possibly mental issues, taking advantage of a desperate woman. I'd say a desperate woman, not to disparage, but as a matter of fact, because these tasks were not rational or simple by any means.
He gave me what to wear, how to do my hair, lipstick, earring, and assignments, types of photos, types of videos, what to do with it. What the fuck?
No, they were actually very specifically made to degrade and objectify her.
At 11:31 a.m.
Why would you want to degrade the person you're with? I don't understand. What's the point in dating somebody if you're not going to engage with them in mutual respect? I don't get it. I guess he just has some kind of kink or something.
My instructions were your look. Hairbrush, pin back on both sides, big hoop earring, full makeup, red lipstick, Alex's property stamp on your right.
It's a little weird. I mean, that's for what?
Video number 1, wall dance.
I swear to God, he's just doing this. Is he just doing this to like purchase porn from a girl on OnlyFans?
This is all.
Also, why shave your vagina, man? Like, come on, give me some of that hair.
All in one night. She did this all in one night.
Wow, wall dance, bed dance. Dude, he's paying women. He's paying women on OF. What are you talking about?
Videos. 4 videos, 4 different outfits.
Wow. I wonder why that girl left him. They found another guy had left him earlier. But who would have thought? If you're doing this now, you were doing something like this the whole time. Thank you for the $2 from Blockhead, brother. Thank you.
Video number 1, wall dance, striptease. Long-sleeved black mesh top, disco heels, no panties. Instructions: standard wall dance, squat and gyrate with your ass pointed at me.
Why is this so specific?
Tonight, Biggie featuring R. Kelly.
Whoa, what? What is that? Listen, I like some, I like it when my wife dresses certain ways too. But this seems like a little too extra. This seems very bizarre, very strange. This is just fucking psychotic.
Video number 2, wall dance.
Wow.
Attire: red mini ruffle skirt, black bikini top, plastic side, clear stripper heels, no panties. Instructions: standard wall dance. Start with your ass track. Talk that talk. Rihanna featuring Jay-Z. Video number 3, bed.
Why are you picking the songs as well? Is there something? Maybe I just don't know something. Maybe I'm the weird one. It just seems so bizarre.
Dance.
I feel like if a woman got these instructions, her vagina would turn into the Sahara Desert. This is insane.
See-through dress, clear heels, no panties. Standard bed dance. Track Swerve by Sage the Gemini. Yeah, she said like never. No, she never wanted to do this, but she did it anyway.
Only a woman with no options would choose to be with a man who calls their relationship in talking stage.
Or a woman that's getting a lot of money. But this is, like, if you treat your woman this way, this is why a woman will leave you and take all your money in a divorce. Just to be clear. This is so weird. I mean, my wife and I, we have a little bit of I have a little bit of a dominance thing, you know what I mean? But this is taking it quite a few steps further.
training and treats her like a dog this early on. The
I
only
love you too.
logical explanation is desperation, and it becomes even more obvious the deeper we go down this rabbit hole. And that's not even scratching the surface of what Donovan thinks of his wife and women at large. On the topic of women, Donovan Sharp makes it very clear as to what his ideals and standards for them are. He likes young girls, fit, feminine, no kids, a low body count, who is obedient and faithful. That's the long and the
Didn't he marry the opposite? Like, thank you so much for the $5 from Melissa Boomer of the night. I had to marry an older, strong man who expected respect and not demand it. You're 34, happy. Incredible. That's great. I like that. You love to hear it.
Sort of. Some of those requirements are fairer than others, but that's okay. You can have a standard of only dating 7 feet tall women. That's your cup of tea. We can't argue against it. But that doesn't mean you'll get it. Let's actually hear these standards out of Donovan's mouth first.
Post-wall women, they get married all the time, but the men they get married to are very low value. They're beta males, they're pushovers, they're not real men, they're not the men that arouse these women. They wanted you back when you were 22 and 23 and young and childless and hot. But when you're in your mid to late 30s, the bad boys don't really want you anymore. And yes,
I guess. I mean, you're 30. You're supposed to be on a different stage of life there. Like, why would you, like, as a normal human being, you know, as you get older, you have different desires in your life. So as you get older, you want to have kids more, become more career oriented. You have less interest in chasing people or dating, because dating is fun, right? And like, it's nice to look back at the old days, like, oh, that was fun when I used to do it, but I don't want to date anymore. I don't care enough, right? So like now my focus is like having kids and building my house. And what I really want to save money for is I want to tear up all my grass in my house, and I want to put down really nice grass and an automatic sprinkler system and a new fence. That's what, you know what I mean? 22-year-olds aren't really thinking about that. So, and the 22-year-old girls aren't really thinking about that either. But my 30-year-old wife, or 29-year-old wife, but she's on board more with that, because it's like, oh, let's spend our money into the house. Let's invest into the house. Those are the thoughts. So I find that very attractive, because that's what I want to do, and I still find her very attractive. Yeah. What?
listen, I know single moms are bad and this and that and the other, but we all got to start somewhere. Don't commit to them. Woman is no longer as sexually attractive as she was when she was in her 20s. Just because, let's call her the average 46-year-old, she may not be disgusting. She may not be as sexual. Obviously, she is not as attractive as she was when she was 26. And we're talking about the average 46-year-old woman overeating, riding the carousel.
Why are you thinking about all these things?
All of that eventually takes its toll. All right. Now, the girl that I dated before that I was telling you guys about, Marsha, she had an awesome body, to be sure. There's no doubt about it. But even that didn't push her or any of the other cougars I messed with past a 7. I've never dated a cougar who was a 10. Never dated a cougar who was a 9.
This guy obviously has a thing for older women, like very specifically. But why is he saying these things then? If he has a thing for them, this is the kind of guy that like you catch watching granny porn.
Never dated a cougar who was an 8. They were all mid to low 7s.
You can pretty clearly see this guy hates the idea of taking an older woman seriously, a single mom seriously, an overweight woman seriously.
No, I think that I personally, and I could be wrong, I don't know enough about this guy, but I don't well, it doesn't sound like it sounds like he doesn't take any women seriously, but this seems like the kind of guy who's trapped in this ideology, the red pill ideology, and it's making him money. And and he's desperately trying to grab onto and hold on to that success to keep making money, even though he's an emphatic failure at his job. And part of that is to say older women are bad. I want to fuck kids. Like, that's what he's as a red pill person. And it's getting worse. Because now you got people like Sneeko saying, well, age of consent's when her tits are nice, not when she's a certain age. It's like, it's getting crazy. These red pill guys are getting fucking insane. They're like getting young. They're getting younger and younger in their tastes every single day. It's actually, it's mortifying. If the age of consent wasn't 18, they would be sleeping with like 13-year-olds. I'm not even kidding. Okay. Like that's what it's at. But he's stuck. He likes older women. And he's stuck in that ideology, though. It's like if he changes that, then he's going to lose whatever small audience he has left. That's literally, that's what I think it is.
And let that woman be all 3. That's like a cardinal sin to Donovan. Here's him making fun of a couple for just that.
That's why this explains why David West is as weak as he is. But yeah, David, listen, man.
Do you think David's listening? I don't know who David is. Who's listening to this guy's podcast? Who's tuning in on the daily to listen to this nonsense?
I'm not trying to be mean-spirited, but you married a single mom. Like,
wow, got it.
Like, come on, man. That doesn't make you a bad dude. And Cassie, you being a single mom when you married David, that doesn't make you a bad person either. Just understand that it's out there. And so you guys on this holier-than-thou, oh, we did it the right way. Listen, you guys have a beautiful family. You're both good-looking people. You have beautiful children. And David...
That's weird. Why are you saying that? I'm just kidding. Let's see. He's got 173,000 followers. He gets about 100,000 views a video. That's pushing it, to be honest with you. His live streams are pulling about 3 or 4K. Maybe 5. I guess he's doing okay. I can't imagine he's doing particularly well. But okay, good for him.
Let's not pretend that you're some apex alpha male. Like, come on, like we.
Who thinks that way? I don't think I'm an apex alpha male because it's not Pride Month anymore and I'm not gay. Why would you even think in that capacity? It's bizarre. Okay.
Both know what this really is.
Sure, the guy married a single mom, but why are you taking the time to not just insult single moms, but specifically target someone and his wife and family? It's just weirdo behavior. Now, like I said, you can have those standards if you want, but now we gotta look at you. If you're claiming the girl needs to be fit to be with you, why do you have a Shrek physique? Another very common theme with this guy right here is being a complete
That looks like Steve Harvey.
hypocrite. One of the many instances of this is him insulting and making fun of people for being overweight or out of shape, when he is just as, if not more, out of shape than the person he's insulting.
You got 10-inch arms and tits. Men don't have tits.
Oh, they go to prison where they get fucking.
Fuck yeah,
they get
they-
fucked up. That's what happens.
Oh my
They
god.
go to prison where they get raped.
Men don't have what now?
Oh, is he out of shape? I don't know. He looks like he's in okay shape for his age, even though he has a little testosterone. So, good for him.
What are you laughing at? This is like me laughing at a joke at the expense of small channels. Please subscribe. But seriously, it's one thing to be a hypocrite about maybe having money when you don't, or anything that's not as easily observable. But when you're a hypocrite about something I can literally see on you, you've got to have a super psychological level of cognitive dissonance. Donovan only dates 8, 9s, and 10s. I mean, can you blame him? He was living the fast life in Vegas, and all he was ever with was extremely attractive women. So I can see how it would be hard for a man like him.
Well, this is the thing, is that it seems like a guy like this could really... his dating pool for women his age is gone because he has the mentality of a kid. Like, what are your this guy, clearly his priorities are just stupid, childish bullshit.
And of his caliber to settle with a lowly average woman.
If she was anything less than an 8, I just couldn't get it up.
If you don't know what he's referring to by these
Whoa.
numbers, he basically means extremely attractive girls. For simplicity's sake, see as a 10 doesn't exist because a 10 is perfect, a 9 is a supermodel, an 8 is extremely attractive, and for a reference point,
Cool.
5 is obviously average. All that being said, Donovan is not exactly the type of man you'd expect to have a 10 out of 10 woman on his arm. We've already been over his physique, to put it lightly,
Damn, he's got a little bit of girth, but hey, good for him.
but he's also of an advanced
hell is
age. How can
this?
you hate on women who are of an older age so much when you're pushing 50 as well? I don't
Well, that's the whole thing. That's the whole manosphere thing, is that like men are gaining value every single day as they get older, but women lose their value from birth or something stupid like that. It's creepy shit that these guys say, just to be clear. So that's going to be their argument against what this guy is saying.
think being old is an insult. This is
600.
what Donovan
What the
thinks. You also state you don't want kids, so what's the big deal? I understand finding more youthful looking women attractive, but for him, especially at his age, especially knowing both men and women's looks drop off with age, even if it is a faster drop off for women, he's living a delusion to imagine he deserves a woman of the caliber he wants. And just for the cherry on top, he's not even tall. He likes to say he's 6'2", but the guy beside him in the picture is 6'3".
Wow. Maybe he was 6'2" when he had his hair.
The woman beside him in this picture is 6 feet flat. Both are collegiate athletes, so he can pretty much be rest assured the heights listed on their profiles are correct.
Jesus, bro, so tall.
Donovan can't even be honest about his height. He's 5'10" on a good day, out of shape, and
Yeah.
not the prettiest. The thing is, that's okay. No shame in that. The shame comes when that archetype of man believes he deserves the best in women and insults any woman who's not up to his standard. He's so delusional, he fashions himself to be a high-value male and top 10% of men.
Because we got a lot of fat women out there. Well, men check for me all the time. Okay, I'm sure they do, but they're not men of value. These are low-value men. I'm a high-value male. I'm not checking for fat women. I'm just not. So miss me
High value male, baby.
with that fallacy.
Even if I'm to believe he's as rich as he says he is, having money doesn't equal high value. I think he's just trying to reassure himself as best he can. Now, we more or less got a decent idea.
I mean, it's certainly part of your value. If you make more money, that's going to contribute to the way that they talk about things is weird. Like what value is. There are certain things that there are certain attributes that people have that are going to contribute to their value, so to speak. You know, which is going to be different for everybody, but like, you know, somebody who might have the capacity to be a good dad is going to have a higher value, especially to older women who want to have kids. So yeah, sure. High value, baby.
Idea of who Donovan Sharp is, his taste in women, his standards for them, and his view on relationships as a whole. Before we can introduce
Single mothers today. Single mom ghosts after he loaned her 2,000. Cool.
the woman of the hour and see how beautiful the relationship is together, we need to introduce one more person, Donovan's arch nemesis, heralding the opening notes of the swan song that would ultimately define his career. That person is Anthony Dream Johnson.
On the count of being a blue pill beta male chimpanzee, a compulsive, pathological liar, and con artist, I find him extremely guilty, 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 guilty! You guilty motherfucker! You're guiltier than sin! Guilty!
Damn, is that him getting owned by a white red pill guy?
Donovan on
Not a lot of those going around, guys.
YouTube right now is a shell of who he was back in his glory days in 2020.
2020 glory days, huh? I mean, 2020 was everybody's glory days, no? That's when people were peaking. Everybody was peak back then, so the youngsters say. But yeah, people were doing really well back then because everybody was home for COVID. Even I was doing well, you know. I'm actually doing better now than I was then, but yeah. Of course, there's a big view increase, so.
All of his videos have no views, especially compared to his subscriber count. And he has no one to blame but himself. His content strategy is tired and old, and his breakdowns are horrible. To save you guys the effort of watching him, he's basically a guy pretending to have killed it back in the day before settling down with a beautiful hottie that he trained to be who she is. In reality, he's a faker, like many of these guys are. He very.
You mean the professional? You the professional League of Legends player Faker?
Clearly is lacking charisma, charm, or anything needed to attract a halfway decent women. Add on the fact he has anger issues and a messed up way of viewing women in general. His breakdowns show just how out of touch he is with everything.
I think I remember his wife isn't bad looking. She's not like unattractive or anything. It's just funny that he just changed his tune once he found a girl.
Every word out of his mouth.
Which means one of two things. Because he always advocates against like single moms and all stuff. It either means two things. One, he's full of shit, and he actually treats her really well behind the scenes, which I don't think is the case because we're going to see more. Or two, he just treats her like absolute dog shit and doesn't actually like her and feels like that's the best he could ever do.
But before we got to this point, like I said, Donovan Sharp had alliances with O'Shea.
Bro, I didn't have 2.7 million followers ever. I had 2.4. Okay, and it wasn't until like 2021 or 2. Okay, get the fuck out of here, dude. I almost got 500K on TikTok. Leave me alone. Okay, I'm getting back.
Hey, Duke Jackson. He has a good amount of subscribers.
I had 200K at the beginning of the year. Leave me alone.
But Donovan tried to usurp O'Shea, and eventually O'Shea cut ties with him. After that,
Yeah, you can't fuck with OSHA, man. They'll be making you wear those the safety equipment all the time. It's crazy.
Donovan needed a place to call home, so he joined the Red Man Group. This group consisted of a few notable names in the Red Pill ideology. Guys like Rollo Tomasi, Richard Cooper, and of course, Anthony Johnson. Anthony runs the
Rollo Tomasi, another embarrassing person.
convention for men by the name of the 21 Convention. Donovan Sharp was a speaker there, but eventually Rollo, another Red Pill weirdo, fell out with ADJ, and a year later, Donovan pulled out of Anthony's convention last minute, tried to get back in last minute, and was denied and started his own convention just to spite Anthony.
There seems to be so many old people, old guys in the red pill space that just don't change as they get older, and they somehow think people are gonna continue to like resonate with them. It's so funny. They just maintain the bullshit for the grift. Like, change your shit up. When you get older, you're supposed to change a little bit. It's kind of how things happen. You get older, and your life, the way that you view life will change a bit. There's nothing wrong with it. It's natural. And people will tend to look at that in a more favorable capacity, so.
There will be a whole section dedicated to Donovan and his convention. Just stay tuned. Anthony Johnson, fueled by voracious hunger for revenge, didn't just take his pound of flesh from Donovan for what he did. Oh no, he tore his entire arm off. And with that, his entire web of lies, scams, gaslighting,
Damn, this guy fucking owned him.
and facade
The great MAGA warrior, dude.
came crashing down. Anthony Johnson revealed everything about Donovan, and with receipts on receipts in a 3-hour documentary filled with roasts, memes, pictures, and all of
Damn, that's not nice. Miss Piggy's fucking can get it, though. She's pretty hot. No joke.
Donovan's contradictions. The expose was so brutal that Donovan took a very obvious hit in every measurable metric. His subscriber count came to a screeching halt. He's been losing subscribers at an insane rate.
So let's go ahead and read the music video. Let's read the community tab post here. Kim, let's go with some like real sad music. With any luck, this number will triple by the end of the year. Stop the show. He's referring to that 417 subscribers. Mad, okay? Sad music is very telling that anyone who goes against the community gets attacked. Stop the show. Like, now you have to make up arguments that are not there. People are not leaving your YouTube channel because you're going against the black community. That has nothing to do with it.
I guess I just found out that he's even too much of a doofus for this community of people that are doofuses. Because the red pill community are fucking doofuses.
People are unsubscribing for you because, number one, either your channel is trash. So
Damn.
here you're making arguments that are not even there, that don't need to be there. Because, when you just can't be accountable for what's actually what's going wrong in your life, you have to blame things that are not there. Like, what are the
Yeah, like women, right? That's what it boils down to. Right? Like all these guys who gravitate towards red pill, the women are the problem with everything. Women are this, women are that. Have you ever thought about maybe just being better? The market's more competitive now. Men have to bring more to the table in a relationship. They have to do more than just get a job and bring money. You got to do some of the fucking emotional labor. And you know what I mean? So, sucks to suck, man. But you got to get your shit together. So that's what it is. It's a big male victim complex. There are men's issues, of course, but it's a big male victim complex. Just like some aspects of feminism are just a big female victim complex. Like just some aspects of like, some aspects of advocation for anything is a big victim complex because people get around and they go too far with their advocation to like hatred of another group.
The black community have to do with what's going on with you in Fresh and Fit? I mean, it just doesn't. I mean, you're just getting dustier and dustier each day. Sad music, I'm good with it. Stop the show. It's not like you can help it, right? Sad music, it shows me which men are interested in self.
A net 417 subscriber loss in just 1 month with a channel of his size is unheard of. He's been stuck at 173K subscribers for 7 months.
Damn, dude, that's crazy.
Let that sink in. 7 months. His graph for views looks exactly like a rug pull graph for the other scammer I did a video on. If he wasn't such a bad guy, I'd almost feel bad for him. For reference, this is what a healthy channel should look like, and this channel has more subscribers already. Therefore, more
He referenced Turkey Tom.
people already know him, yet he's still
Wow, Turkey Tom is in everything, dude. Turkey Tom is every woman. It's all in him.
upward trending. This is plain as day bad content. Men lie, women lie, and numbers don't. After ADJ's video, Donovan also took a massive hit on Patreon, which is where he was getting most of his money from, and he since then has never recovered. Donovan
What's he making, dude? What's he getting?
also took a massive hit on Patreon, which is where he was getting most of his
How do you know that? Paid members. Oh, he used to have 1,200, and now he's down to 400. I wonder, like, what is his paid membership? What is it? Because I think it was his lowest tier 500 or $5 a month. Because that's not terrible. But that's really, what is that? $2,000 a month. It's not that great. Donovan Sharp returns, guys. Didn't even know that. Crazy.
money from, and he since then has never recovered. Donovan likes to lie and say he's wealthy, but the fact of the matter is, he's struggling, and that's okay. Many YouTubers are and come to their fans for help, but unfortunately, Donovan forfeits that option when it's
Yeah, he's got a Cash App in his bio. Yeah, it looks like $5 is the lowest that you can do. 5, 8, 10, 20, 55. I doubt that people are doing that much. So like maybe he's making $2,000 a month off of his Patreon. I think based on that, I want to do the math better.
Solid relies on being rich, wealthy, and a dude who gets women, and also when you've lied and scammed your fans so much that safety net is now gone. Before the ADJ video, he actually was on pace to make a good amount of money as
Oh, it's like $2,700 a month. That's not bad. I mean, it's something. Unless there's a way to follow for free and be considered a member, but I don't know.
in the graph here. But after the video, you see a sharp decline, pun intended. He said before, I make
Oh, thank you so much for the small gut from Andreas Gutierrez. Incredible.
500K and I'm well on my way to be a millionaire. But I believe what's more likely is he did what we all do. We're making X and just assuming
Shit, I don't give a fuck about being a millionaire, dude. Like I said, I would really love to make like $250,000 a year. That's where I would love to be consistent on that. Could you imagine? That's incredible. That's such an incredible amount of money. It's fucking crazy, man. Who needs any more than that? You know?
to go up from there and start daydreaming about what we'll be doing in the future after we've been making
It's like $20,000 a month. Could you imagine that? That's fucking... You don't need any more money than that, dude. That's crazy.
X for even more years. He probably even thought he could hit 5,000 patrons or who knows, even more. That is, if he didn't get exposed. And of course, his YouTube money is down to almost nothing as well. Even in one of his 4-hour streams, he's lucky to get $20 in super chat money. So
Damn, that's crazy. I don't really worry about super chat money. I'm more about the advertisement revenue. I try to centralize my stuff around like for ad revenue. Anything else outside of that is just a bonus to me, you know?
Social Blade isn't the most accurate, but looking at his channel views and his channel in general, safe to say this time it is. And if that's not enough to show you he's lying about his wealth, here's his living arrangement. And well, it is circumstantial, but I'd bet wealthy people don't live like this, and anyone who sustained that kind of income for even a minute should be a millionaire by now, and at the very least, not renting a 3-bedroom townhome. If you're so rich, why would you live in a cramped townhouse? Why not take all that rent money and spend it on one nice place? That picture I showed you guys of his room, I haven't had a room that cluttered in my life, and wealthy people don't have dog crates in their bedroom.
Yeah, what the hell? I thought he had a woman that stayed at home and did all the cooking and cleaning and stuff. How come they're not taking better care of this, man? What the hell?
Anyway, after this, Donovan of course didn't take any of the blame and blamed
I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a down period and whatnot and not being a millionaire as a content creator. You know, it seems like we're in an age where you can be a more and more consistent content creator. In general, right? I don't think that that's a crazy thing to say because, you know, that's just kind of where we are. People are more and more inclined to watch a smaller content creator because they like that. It's like, oh, that's my content creator. You know what I mean? That's like almost that underdog. I think that's a lot of people in general. I think that's why smaller content creators like myself can be very successful. But this guy's whole philosophy centralizes around men making all this money and being low value if they don't make a particular amount of money. So
Shay, Anthony, and YouTube itself. Here's Donovan saying he's gonna quit YouTube.
Yeah. I'm done live streaming on YouTube.
Wow.
I really am.
Is that him? Well, he said on YouTube. Is he gonna do Rumble?
I've had now I've had like 3 or 4 YouTube reps. Everything was hunky-dory until I hit about 172,000 subs. That's when everything stopped. And again, I'm still going through the Anthony Johnson stuff, but with each passing CME, with each passing milestone, 110, 120, it started to get slower and slower and slower. It started to get slower and slower and slower, and now dude, guys, I'm stuck at a standstill. Like, do you guys realize how frustrating it is to live stream for 4 hours, have 2,500 views, but lose 17 subscribers?
Have you ever considered putting in more work into your content strategy? It's so funny. I wouldn't want this guy to take this advice because I wouldn't want him to be successful, but it's so funny because like there is you have to put more work into your content than just streaming. Like that's just your brand. It's not your brand awareness. You have to put a lot of effort into like brand awareness. That's where a lot of your effort has to go into. But you know, I guess he doesn't do that.
Funnily enough, one of his longtime supporters said, like a battered woman, you'll go right back. Donovan got emotional, very alpha, and says, no way, Jose.
J-Blaze says, Don, like a battered woman, you'll go back. No, the fuck I won't. No, sorry, dude. Sorry, Jason.
Damn.
That's not happening. That's not happening. I'm not. No, that's it. No, that's not funny. I'm not going back, guys.
This was in February, and as you can see, he did go back. Very much so like a
Damn, what a cock.
battered woman. But the point isn't to show how sad this guy is. It's to show how delusional he is. He tries to blame his failures on Anthony Johnson.
Anyway, yeah, and so they switched reps.
And so.
So I changed reps, and my first rep is like, hey man, your channel's kind of slowed down. I'm here to help you. And I'm like, all right. He's like, what do you think the problem is?
His TikTok got banned too. Can't even find it because I'm looking under his this thing right now. You know, I got offered a rep and I never took it. I wonder if they offer me a rep now. I just don't see a reason to have a rep. I don't feel like I need it. Let's see what else.
I'm not even talking about Anthony. I'm not even talking about Anthony at this point, right? I'm just telling him, look, I'm uploading stuff. I don't know. I mean, dude, I was getting more views when I had literally a third of the subscribers. They're telling me shit I already know. Have you tried encouraging super chats? Have you tried like guys, I've read all of the manuals. I've read all the videos.
I don't think that encouraging your audience to give you more super chats is the right direction to go when you want to make more money. I know it sounds so silly. But, you know, like my encouragement is like, hey, I'll read your text out loud if you super chat like every time. That's pretty much it. But, you know, when I hear encouraged super chats to a greater extent, I hear like begging for money, right? Bro, you need to tap into a new audience. You need to do your TikTok and your Instagram. Like that's where it is. If you're not doing that as a content creator, you're an automatic failure. Like what are you doing?
Read the terms and conditions. I know the policies and procedures. I know about the keywords. I know about the optimization. None of it worked. None of it ever works. So they switched reps. Same deal.
So this guy, it sounds like this guy kept complaining about it not working, and then he begged for a new rep or something like that. That's what it sounds like.
Maybe you should try this. And I'm like, bro, I've tried all of this. Finally, my third rep says, well, listen, we're on our third rep. You're still uploading videos regularly. You're live streaming regularly. What seems to be the problem? I said, dude, I got a f***ing troll with 500,000 subscribers who's on me all the time. That dude didn't take me seriously. I sent him all this stuff. Yeah, we'll look into it. Nothing ever happened.
It's so funny because if you notice, this guy's ideology, like Red Pill, is women are all the problem. It's very clear to me that this guy, he's failing because his content sucks, and he's not putting in any effort to change because everybody else is the problem other than him. That's what he's boiling down to. That's what he boils everything down to. Everybody else it's everybody else's fault. It's not my fault that my content's not doing well, etc., etc. And I understand it can be frustrating when you're not doing well content-wise. I mean, I've been there. Of course, it's part of the it's part of the game. But it's just so interesting how that victim complex carries over into everything.
Happened. So he says, this is why we called you. It's this 21 Studios 21 convention. They literally said, this is the guy who's always after you. We've seen his videos, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. So what are you going to do about it? He says, well, send me everything you got, boss. All right. I sent him everything I had. So,
what do you want him to do? Ban this person for you?
So I'm still waiting on that, but I'm not holding my breath.
What do you want him to do? Wait, are you trying to get him to ban your opponent? I can't imagine anybody was like, yeah, that's a great idea.
I'm holding my breath. They're not, dude, they haven't done it. They haven't done anything for 4 years. What makes me think they're going to do something now?
What do you want them to do, bro?
All Anthony Johnson did was expose the truth. If I was living a lie, purporting to be this big shot alpha male who's done this and that, when someone makes a video saying that's not true, this is who you really are, you can't then turn around and blame them for your downfall. You have to blame yourself and yourself only. Furthermore, you could have survived.
You do. You have to put as much blame onto yourself in a productive way for everything that happens to you in order to get more successful. Because if the more blame that's on you for your failure, the more you can change. You know? So, yeah, you need to be productive in that. course.
Everything. What I've noticed from doing YouTube and being a viewer of YouTubers, some people can come back. Sure, you're gonna have a hard time, but it's possible to reinvent yourself and be more genuine after learning from your mistakes. A great example is Logan Paul after his entire drama. FoofyTube
She's fucking Logan Paul, huh?
was done like 10 times, but instead, Donovan chose to blame others and continue his lies. It doesn't make any sense, he says. It makes perfect sense.
Well, I mean, like, what's the pull of this guy that you wouldn't get better of from some younger, annoying red pill person screaming the same dumb bullshit? Right? I mean, I feel like it's a young man's game to be some red pill YouTuber. Like, you're supposed to get older and change your ways a little bit and, like, you know, change. I don't know. What is the next pill? Purple? Be available for people that are like, yeah, this is how you do a marriage, but I'm still an alpha male. Blah, blah, blah. Like, whatever obnoxious bullshit.
Make bad content and are incongruent, so people unsubscribe. It's really as simple as it gets. He's talking about 21 Studios, Alba and Preach, as if they're conspiring against him. My brother in Christ, you post your abusive and cringe relationship online for the world to see. You lied
True that.
about easily verifiable things and made enemies with the wrong people. There's a reason your YouTube rev has done nothing about 21 Studios or Anthony Johnson, because it's not against
Because they haven't done anything wrong. It sounds like.
policies or a crime to criticize people, however harsh it might be. That's quite literally the definition of transformative videos. Why do you think the scamming technologists had to resort to false copyright claims on my video about it? Sure, the video
Damn. Well, I mean, it seems to be a big red pill thing to do false copyright strikes. So
got put back up because it's obvious it's not copyrighted content. But he did that because he had no recourse to hide from the criticism of him that he couldn't address. Donovan is showing that same level of desperation, begging 3 different YouTube reps to delete Anthony Johnson's channel for the cardinal sin of telling the truth. Donovan, I hate to break it to you, but this is the result of
hey, dude, he's being a meanie weenie. Okay, you can't be a meanie weenie to this guy. It's too rude.
your own actions. If Donovan hates Anthony Johnson for what he did to him, then in a roundabout way, he hates himself. Now that you know Donovan and know his
Based, same. I'm just kidding.
arch nemesis, ADJ, enter Devon. Devon is Donovan's wife, and what was in this 4-hour documentary
She's not bad looking. She's cute. You know, a normal person would be like, "Wow, my wife is cute. Hey, let's treat her well."
that exposed
You know?
Donovan Sharp? Well, it was the revealing of his wife past just her name. You see, when Donovan was working with Anthony Johnson at the 21 Studios, he brought his wife there as well. And ADJ realized some things and did his own digging into who they actually are. Prior to this video, Donovan never showed Devon at all. In fact, the only way anyone knew she existed was because Donovan would refer to her from time to time, and she'd be in the chat as Sharp Assist and later Devon Sharp.
Sharp assist. Wow, she's really trying to bolster his content, trying to be a little bit of a moderator for him.
Donovan would have you believe people thought my wife was too good to be true, so that's why I decided to finally reveal her in all her glories.
And so what would I look like telling guys, hey, you need to do X, Y, and Z with your woman. You need to set boundaries, expectations, and demands, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, you do need to do those things, but his idea of these things just seems rather toxic.
But then my woman doesn't do the same. Or I don't show my woman at all. And that's really what happened. A lot of people, it's so funny, Devon sounded she sounded so good. There were actually people in the community 4 or 5 years ago that thought that there's no way this woman is real. She sounds too good to be true. So I
Oh, that's a nice thing to say about her, I guess.
said, okay. And so I decided to make her a little more, prevalent in my content.
We all know this is not true. The truth is, Donovan Sharp, when he was doing an interview with Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit, accidentally had her come on camera. She was
Damn. That's not the greatest. Yeah, but it's not the greatest, example of what she, you know what I mean? Like, that's a rough pick, but we all have our own rough pick sometimes, you know what I mean?
screen capped, and then people like ADJ used her screen caps to dunk on her appearance. So up to this point, Donovan was telling everyone he would never get
And
married.
that's the thing, is because, like, listen, you shouldn't be insulting another person's wife, right? That's something a man wouldn't do. But I mean, if you're going to be the kind of guy who is sitting here and you're insisting over and over again, you're just insisting that, if your whole content is insulting women and treating them like shit and talking down on them, excuse me, sorry, how do you expect people to treat your girl? They're going to treat her like shit, no? So
he was banging 9s and 10s left and right. His girlfriend, at the time he maintained she was only ever a girlfriend, is 37 years old,
she's just my girlfriend, shut up.
attractive, fit, and beautiful, and much, much more lies about her and himself at large. Well, once she was revealed,
She's just my girlfriend.
that didn't seem to be the case. Before I start this next part, I am not
I mean, the bigger problem with this video picture is that the camera quality is such dog shit, bro. What are you doing?
trying to insult or disparage his wife at all. To me, she truly is a victim of bad circumstances that have led her to believe that the best she can get is an abusive, emotional, roid-raging, pathological liar. She isn't really so much half the issue.
Damn, bro.
Rather-
I mean, I got some anger issues too, but you got to keep those in check. Boys and girls, mostly boys.
I see her more as a pawn in Donovan's game.
I'm in my gym. We have a fully stocked gym in the garage. And a FedEx guy drives up, I guess he's delivering something to us. Well, our garage door is to the right of our front door. So the guy starts to walk, and he's like, "Oh, I guess I'll just deliver it here to the guy in the garage instead of having to squeeze it in the front door." So he comes out, you know, yeah, I'm delivering XYZ. I'm going to sign for it. Devon comes into the garage. He's like, "Wait, what's going on?" "Yo, I lost it." She's like,
What? Why did you lose it?
"What's happening? What's going on?" I said, "Get your," and dude, in front of the, I said, "Get your ass back in the house." "Yeah, but I have to," I said, "Get your ass back in the house. Get in there." And she,
What? I think that, first of all, this probably didn't happen the way he's saying it, but that is also troubling because this guy thinks that this story makes him sound cool. Just to be clear, this guy thinks he sounds like a badass yelling at his wife because she tried to sign for a package for him. Wow, that's what a boundary to set, brother.
now, a lot of guys would say, "What's the problem with her coming out and finding out what's going on?"
Yeah, a lot of people would say that.
When she takes that position, that says to the FedEx guy that she is the authority.
What? What are you talking about? What is who thinks like that? What are you talking about? She went to sign for a fucking package, bro. What does he talk? What is he saying?
I'm here handling my business, handling this business where two men talking, but then the woman comes in and wants to know what's going on, meaning that nothing happens unless she says so.
Nobody thinks like that. She's a person that's curious about it and probably wanted to not have your gym time interrupted. So she was like, "Oh, I'll come. Oh, don't have him do it. I want to do it." You know, like I don't understand.
But come to find out,
That's what my first thought would be, given the exact same scenario where I'm working out in the garage, and the FedEx guy comes or whatever, and my wife comes outside. I imagine she would be doing that to talk to the guy so that it wouldn't interrupt my gym time. Right? That's my first thought. So
Devon wasn't 37 like he said. She is in fact older than him. Remember when Donovan said women who are older
damn, I told you, granny porn.
are completely useless for anything more than a pump and dump?
Woman, any man who marries a woman
Pump and up, baby, boogie queen.
past the age of 23 years old, you're getting leftovers. She gave all of her best
Okay.
she gave all of her best sex to the alpha cats.
That's weird because as I get older, sex gets better. I think that's a little interesting that you think that children are the well, okay. I know 23 isn't a child, but I'm fucking 34. I mean, like, what are you talking about though? Like, as you get older, you get better. The younger a person is, the worse they're usually going to be in bed. So why would I want to mess with like a 20-year-old girl? Like, I don't understand.
That's what happened. They wanted you back when you were...
But that's a beautiful display of self-hate because he was really talking about the specific category of women that his wife falls into. Remember when he said he only likes fit girls, you know, the typical 9 to 10 look? Well, his wife objectively has the body of someone's auntie, to put it as respectfully.
She looks nice. She's a good-looking person. Like, she's attractive, especially for her age. You know, but my ideology doesn't centralize around not having stretch marks. I actually like stretch marks anyway, and fucking, you know, fat tits and hairy this, and you know what I mean. I'm a man. I'm getting older. You're supposed to be a degenerate that likes nasty shit as you get older.
As I possibly can. Also, even though she is a victim in this in my eyes, she's the one choosing to allow him to lie about her for his own gain.
I mean, there's a level of truth there. She seems to be very like. I mean, if this guy is as, you know, big of a piece of shit as he is portraying himself as, you know, she is putting up with it. So
at some point, she does have agency in this. All that big talk about I only deal with attractive women. I can't even get it up for anyone over an 8. But your girlfriend, all dolled up and ready for a podcast, looks like John McCain. Ladies
come on, dude, it's not nice.
and gentlemen, we've dealt with a lot of fraud, a lot of scammers, and a lot of inconsistent people here on this channel. This guy might take the cake with just how observable and documented what he says doesn't line up with his actions. Last but not least, all this talk about how single
He's so mean, but he, like, you know, he set himself up to have his wife insulted like this. Unfortunately, because of the way that he talks about other women. So
mothers are the scum of the earth. No one wants them. The guy who settles down with a single mother is a beta loser and has no options.
Well, Cassie would have the world believe that she's always been this doting, dutiful. Well, you know what? No, Cassie West has been ran through. Cassie West was a single mom when she married David West. Cassie West chased bad boys. She's a Karen that was ran through like everybody else was a single mom. And this explains why this explains why David West is as weak as he is. But yeah, David, listen, man. I'm not trying to be mean-spirited, but you married a single mom. Like,
yeah, why are you talking shit about people like that? It's weird. You're opening people up to criticize your wife. But this is how you know someone's not a man, is if they'll insult someone else's wife unprompted, you know?
like, come on, man. That doesn't make you a bad dude. And Cassie, you being...
Like, if the person themselves is like, oh, fuck you, you're ugly, then it becomes a different conversation, right? But just insulting people's wives for what? Because so that, like, little boys will look at your podcast. I love this podcast so much. He's a mean guy. I like mean guys. Cool stuff, man.
Being a single mom when he married...
Thank you for the $2 from GD. Nobody has tragically passed away. Damn. Unfortunate stuff, brother. Just keep me updated. Okay?
Hey, David, that doesn't make you a bad person either. Just understand that it's out there. And let's not pretend that Cassie, I'm talking to you here. Cassie, let's not pretend that you didn't take the typical route that most modern women take. And David, Let's not pretend that you're
What's the typical route most modern women take? I don't understand. Trying to find a guy that respects them and makes money? I don't understand.
some apex alpha male. Like, come on. Like, we both know what this really is.
When you're the guy who settled with a single mother who's older than you.
We see on his Instagram, he's been in damage control, just rampantly posting about this woman everywhere that he can lately, after the MGTOW guys at MGTOW Dictionary Channel exposed who he is exactly and what's going on there with his relationship. So he claims she is in her late 30s, and that is not the case. He's 44 years old.
Damn. Something that does not matter at all, but he's decided to make it matter because of the way that he talks about women is crazy.
Almost 45 years old. So we have the public believing that she is in her late 30s, as Donovan discusses again.
How is a guy who lied about marrying a single mom? Again, I knew that Donovan was lying about this. I'm the first person to put it out there. I was on the phone with the dude one night.
This is crazy that in this sphere, dating a single mom is breaking news. Like, in general, that this is like, hey, I caught him. He was lying about dating a single mom. It's like, oh, cool. Like, nobody else would ever care about this. No normal human being person with any, you know, actual life would ever care about this. But this is the sphere he's in. And he's part of it. He's an active contributor. Like, oh, he's dating a single mom. Oh no, what terrible.
There was a little girl in the back.
Yeah, it's catty gossip. It's the same thing as like fucking, it's this beauty channel bullshit. It's insane.
Bro. I'm like, yo, bro, who's that girl? Oh, that's my girl's niece. Really? I'm like, nah, he's stuttering. That's her daughter. I was the first person to know that or figured that out.
All this talk about how you'll never take a single mom seriously and how you're so above that. Well, since this kind of information is a matter of public record and you and your wife are public figures, checking her bankruptcy application, we can see what the word is on that situation. Take it away.
Damn, she got bankrupted too? Shit.
Red Pill examined.
Do you have dependents? Yes.
I wear Depends. I'm just kidding.
Does dependent live with you? Yes. Dependent's age, 10 years old. Dependent's relationship to debtor 1.
Okay.
Daughter.
Again, I don't have an issue with this at all. People like whatever they like, but these are the standards that you held other people to. So
True that, brother.
why are you the exact same person you claim to hate? One of the first YouTubers to expose Donovan, Red Pill Examined, had a beautiful verse to describe the next portion of this video. The lips of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Proverbs 12:19. Donovan
Put on my tongue in my butt for a moment. You know what I'm saying, dude? All right, that's weird.
strung together a web of lies so vast and heavy, and when he got tangled up in it, he began to feel that pressure hard and quick.
All masculinity is just being honest. That's what masculinity is. It's being
I don't think that's what not. Well, I mean, I guess I kind of agree, but I don't think that you actually agree with that. So
honest no matter what. Being honest with your words, being honest with your with the way with your intentions, and being honest with your actions. Okay? If you see a pretty girl,
To say
I don't think that. I mean, like, I would consider that just a good quality to have, but that's not how they define masculinity. I'm assuming that that's him running some kind of defense because he's talking to a girl he's not supposed to be talking to, because he lives in a sphere where, you know, you have to justify your own behaviors, because that's really masculine, is having to tell other men and explain to them why it's okay for you to date somebody that you're in love with.
ADJ's video flipped Donovan's world upside down would be an understatement. Donovan had two options: double down and continue the lies, or come clean and hope people still rock with him. In typical Donovan fashion, made a third option and decided to come clean about some things, gaslight others, and outright continue to lie about a few. One thing he did do was reveal Devon, even more than she has been, and not just in a this is who she is way, but a physical way as well. Poor Devon became an OnlyFans girl for Donovan. He was
That's how he's making the money, dude. He's fucking pimping his girl out, bro. That's crazy.
so hurt that the only way his ego
Wow.
could recoup was by showing her off like a piece of meat and trying to gaslight people into finding her attractive. Now,
Face,
I'll preface this by
guys.
saying I'm in my low 20s, so it's going to be really hard for me to find a woman over 35 attractive as it is. And I know everyone has their own definition of hot, so I'll put it out there. But to pretend this is universally attractive and anyone who criticizes you or your relationship just wants you if they're a
Seems like a bad picture. She's not bad looking. Let me see. Let me think. I think I can find her.
woman or your wife, they're a man, is delusional.
yes, my girlfriend is an older woman. She turned 36 back in February. Now, fortunately for her, she still looks great in her mid-30s. She's got a great body because she's a genetic freak, as you guys can plainly see. But let's not kid ourselves here, guys.
Let's try to. We got to figure out how can we find this OnlyFans.
She doesn't look as good at 36 as she did when she was 26. Now, Devon got lucky, and she is a rare exception to the rule. She's not
Wow, his podcast is getting 60 views a video. It's incredible.
She's not a unicorn by any stretch of the imagination, guys. But her genetics and her workout habits are why she's still physically attractive.
Why are you even talking about your wife like this? This is really cringe. This is just like disrespectful. Why are you talking about your wife like this?
But knowing that Father Time is undefeated, I've taken measures to preserve her star body for as long as I can to make sure I still want to have bedroom fun
She's not bad looking.
with her for the next few years.
The way that you talk about it. Bro, I could not imagine having to sit down and do an entire like 4-hour podcast about why it's okay that I want to fuck my girlfriend or my wife. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand. I don't really get it. You don't feel embarrassed by that, dude? Like that's pathetic. Does he not feel like he's pathetic for having to do this?
Genetic freak? P-star body? Are you serious with this? Donovan actually had the audacity to say Devon is a 7 in the face and her body is a hard 9.
Devon is a 7. She's a 7. A lot of people think, oh my God, Devon's not a 9 or 10. She's a 7. Her
The way that you talk about your fucking wife is so pathetic.
body is an 8 on her worst day. On her best day, her body is a hard 9. Maybe even a little higher depending upon what she is wearing. And then later on, we found out she was 44 years old. We were all like, whoa, wait a minute. No such thing as a 44-year-old 9.
Both,
I'm trying to find that OnlyFans, dude. I'm genuinely curious to see what she looks like, but I can't find it, so it is what it is.
very much so disagree with. But I wouldn't even be saying this is an issue had he just said it's his opinion. But this guy genuinely gets mad when people don't agree that his wife is attractive.
Now, John Easton says, please don't bring your wife into this. I'll do whatever the oh yeah, Boostman says a 6 at best, but go ahead. All right, look. Y'all can hate if you want to. Look, I love it. Afro nerd, average white woman. The pedestalizing is insane. This is so funny. This is so funny. Will says, that's your wife, so I'll let it go.
It's so interesting that this guy has opened up that conversation about his wife in the first place. Like that, why are you even talking about this? You know what I mean? Like this is fucking crazy.
No, you're the up out of here. You're disrespectful. Who else? Who else? Oh yeah, Walk-in LIQ says your wife is below average, but I with your content, bro. Well, guess what? But if you mess with my content, you're going to have to mess with it from afar because your ass is gone. Anybody else want to talk?
This is so funny. Because, like, I would do the same thing. Like, if somebody was talking about my wife like this as well. But this is not what my content is not about this. So it's no actual, like, meaningful viewer lost, right? This is all of his fans. Like, these are the type of people that are his fans. These are the type of people that he needs, right? These are the people. The people that will sit here and just, like, criticize women's look and spend all day just trying to figure out what number your wife or girlfriend or any woman is or any person is on a scale of 1 to 10. It's an arbitrary system. It's like, wow, this is what you asked for. This is what you invited. This is funny. And so every time he does something like this, it looks really weak to his audience because this is his core audience that he's banning are all these people. So you can't walk around disrespectfully and then beg people to be respectful of you. It just doesn't work like that.
Anybody else disingenuous? Anybody else want to be disingenuous? Anybody else want to lose their privileges for lying? Like, I can understand.
Don't lie about my girl. You're just all jealous.
And if I had a fat, ugly, it would be one thing if I had like a fat, ugly wife. You guys know my wife is not fat, and you know she's not ugly. So, you guys want to try to, trigger me and get me aroused? Great. You guys
get me aroused. What the fuck?
were never fans in the first place. 2 to blue. Oh yeah, you too, Taka. You too. You're out of here too.
You're out of here, dude. You're out of here, Buster Brown. I don't think anybody cares at this point, because at this point you're just again, your audience likes to be pieces of shit, and now you're inviting them to be pieces of shit. And you're like, oh, I'll ban you. They probably think it's funny at this point because they're like, oh, I'm not going to watch this clown anyway because he's having a fucking meltdown about it. So you're not really doing, too much damage. You're just doing damage to yourself, really, brother.
You want us to think that you think she's unattractive, and that is a lie. Guys, listen, I am not going to tolerate dishonesty in my chat.
It'd be very easy to produce records showing that she has no kids or dependents, but you can't. This is Donovan's attempt to damage control, and he does it through gaslighting the audience, but it doesn't work because we can literally see your wife and see what she looks like. That is not the body of a 9. I'm very sorry. If that's the case, what's Kim K? Devon unfortunately doesn't wear her age very well either. That is objectively not an above average looking woman. If 5 is average. Going back to the guy he made fun of.
She looks, from what we've seen, she looks attractive. Like, I don't know. But again, he opened up this conversation about his wife
earlier for dating and marrying a single mom. He called old dude a beta and a loser, said his wife slept around and she's a single mom. Well, you're in the same boat, mister. Everything you said of her is true in your case, right? Furthermore, if we did a poll on who is more attractive, every last person would say the girl on the left by a landslide. It's beautiful.
I don't know what girl he's referring to.
To see all the terrible things he said about someone else's wife come back to bite him in the most humiliating.
Oh, the other girl. Yeah. Okay, now I know he's talking about the girl before who was like insulting for, being a single mom, getting married.
Ways. Donovan is so desperate to fulfill his cuckold fetish of other people finding his wife attractive. Not only does he show her off constantly on his social media, and not in a respectable "here's my beautiful wife" way, but in a "here's the female I train and she's my property."
A side chick.
Where? What's his social media? Oh my god. Why? This is crazy. This is such weak behavior.
Do me a favor.
Because the only reason that this Donovan Sharp guy is showing his wife is because he needs to convince you that she's attractive. He's a weak man who cannot be happy within himself or with what he has. He needs you to think it's amazing. That's who he is. His entire like ego, self-worth revolves around what other people think of his wife and his relationships and him. And, you know what I mean? He's a weak person. He's not a strong person that has any level of confidence in himself or what he has. He's pathetic. Like, this guy's a loser. It's fucking crazy.
Archer back and do this for me.
Oh my god.
So these are Devon's F cup. Little higher. Yeah, there you go. Those are. Let's get a shimmy. Let's get a shimmy.
Crazy stuff.
Get a shimmy. Let's get a shimmy.
Wow, this is
there you
embarrassing.
Go. There it is. There it is. It's funny. He thinks he's.
Even making her wear a Donovan's property shirt.
Did somebody say receipts? Did somebody?
Why is he doing this? This guy is fucking pathetic.
Say? Did somebody say?
It's not like his wife looks attractive. Like, I jerk off to her, okay? It's not about that. But you're parading your wife around because other men don't think she's attractive. Like, you look so weak right now. This is pathetic. The fact that you're even encouraging or giving into this type of, like, conversation is pathetic.
Receipts? Did
And also, like, not to be regressive, but like, you're objectifying your wife like that. I also find that pathetic. Like, that's supposed to be your property, no? You know, I'm not trying to be. I'm a little. You know, I'm my wife's property, and my wife's my property. I wouldn't let her do this. Like, this is fucking crazy. I don't know. Like, what are you doing?
Did somebody say receipts? Oh,
we said it. I don't know if we're seeing it though.
no. Devon's huge perky E cup. Did somebody say receipts?
What a weird person.
Did somebody say receipts? Oh, there's Devon's
Why is Pearl here? Is Pearl insulting her or something? I don't know.
tight and her strong.
If this guy's whole content base was like fetishizing older women, he would fucking be killing it right now, dude. But it's not. So you're not killing it.
And those beautiful
Well, it is your career.
legs. Did somebody say receipts? Did I'm sorry. Oh, my bad. Oh, my fault. And no, I'm not a foot guy. I'm not a foot guy.
I like feet. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking proud of it. Well, I'm not proud of it. It just exists. I don't give a fuck. I'll lick my wife's toes. I don't care. I'm a fucking. They'd call me Slagathor if I had a name for my degeneracy. That's a little Scrubs reference for you.
Oh, nope, not a foot. Did you
Stuttering pretty hard there, bud.
see? Now I'm glitching out. Oh, dude, when Devon comes downstairs wearing nothing but hoops, heels, and lipstick, y'all should see my like.
You're trying really, really hard to let people know that you're attracted to your wife. It's really it's desperate.
You can see how uncomfy she is with everything. No girl wants to be paraded around like a trophy to help you maintain your
She's letting it happen, so I don't know. Maybe he beats the shit out of her so she doesn't feel like she can say anything. I don't really know idea.
fragile image and stroke your ego. She no doubt represses those feelings because she feeds into all the stuff he spells about single moms. But her body,
you know, it's not. This isn't even the worst part, by the way. The parading her around. The worst part is that the comments are commenting on her. It sucks when people comment on you in general, right? Like, I'm a content creator, but it happens. Like, I deserve it because I'm a commentary content creator. So, like, I obviously deserve criticism in different ways. Oh, hold on, can I get this? I'm probably not gonna be able to, right? Like. But, you know, you're having your wife in a situation that is avoidable, having her body, like, objectified like this. And she's seeing comments that are just going to be like, oh, this is disgusting. And it's not, but, like, that's what your audience thinks. Why are you opening yourself up to this?
language betrays her. She's uncomfortable. Sad thing is, she could get a better man than Donovan, just by virtue of Donovan being such a scumbag. Sure, single moms have it harder than the dating market, but Donovan isn't the average guy. He's 10%, but not 10% of the best, rather 10% of the worst. Anyone can find better than that, single mom or not. In the video, you can see she's not in good shape. She has fake that Donovan paid for, and as he
She's probably isn't pretty decent shape for her age. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
puts it, to give her a severance package in case they ever break up, so she has the chance to maybe find a high value man.
And that's actually one of the secondary reasons I got her a set of fake. I got her a set of fake. One, because I just wanted her to have fake. It's better with fake.
Why? I never understood why guys liked girls with fake tits. I personally am just not into it. I don't really understand it. It doesn't really make that much sense to me that you would want a girl with fake tits. Like,
The second thing is listen, she's 46 years old, and should I decide to leave, I wanted to at least give her a fighter's chance to maybe find a guy of minimal value. Very, very tough to do.
in case I leave, dude, this guy's not leaving for shit. He's in love with this girl. You can tell. She would be the one that would leave him because he's fucking pathetic.
at her age, but being in good shape and having nice, nice firm fake.
She must have such low self-worth or something, man. This is so sad for her. The way that he talks about her is pathetic. It's actually fucking insane.
Increases her odds, even if it's minuscule. Even if it's minuscule.
Like, why are you even having the conversation that you and your wife might not be together anymore? That's just abnormal and weird and stupid, pathetic and childish.
The reality is obvious to everyone except for him and maybe Devon. He probably likes fake, but of course he's doing it so he can use it to show off to other men online, maybe help him recoup some of his course sales.
Starboy.
Yeah, that makes more sense, yeah. Sorry.
Another $10 super chat. So, hey Donovan. At least you spelled my name right. So since you're a high value man, do you also have a side chick on top of having your main chick? Whoever said I was a high value man?
You've never called yourself a high value man.
Who is Starboy?
Why would you call yourself a low value man? I'm not understanding. Well, I never said I was a high value man. Why? Why wouldn't you say that? I'm so confused.
Wait, Starboy, I think you got the wrong channel. Oh my god! Devon.
I like this is so weird. I like how this guy is insisting that he's never said that he is a man with high value. Wow, it's just incredible.
If I wanted a side chick, I would go out and get one.
I know.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. This is an act. She knows he ain't gonna do shit. He's a fucking pussy. Well, I mean, you shouldn't be getting a side girl. I'm just saying he is a pussy.
There we go. There it is.
First of all, he called himself a high value man before. Roll the clip.
There's got a lot of fat women out there. Well, men check for me all the time. Okay, I'm sure they do, but they're not men of value. These are low value men. I'm a high value male. I'm not checking for fat women. I'm just not. So miss me with that fallacy.
Okay.
And secondly, this is where I feel bad for Devon. Even though she did jump in on his lie that he's never said he was a high value male, he's always having to demonstrate to show his masculinity, and that just shows how fragile it is.
Yeah, he's a fucking loser. He's weak.
If you truly thought your girl was hot, you wouldn't have to get others to agree. Truth is, he doesn't. And
Yeah, exactly. There's no reason for him to be fucking debating with people on the internet, except for, again, that's just kind of the audience he's decided to generate.
he's jealous of other guys who are actually what he wishes he was. That's why he has to create these insane lies and tall tales about his backstory. So instead of being a career
Yeah, even though he's short.
criminal and fraud, all his arrests were for being a tough guy who beat up someone for talking in the wrong tone to him. Instead of never having experience with women and always being the guy who wishes he did, and ending up settling with a single mother who would never have given him the time of day in her prime, he was slaying baddies his whole life, but chose to settle down with Devon.
It's crazy because this guy, I don't know, if I had to guess, this guy's a little regressive too, because he's like, he settled for a single mom. I don't know if it's I wouldn't classify dating a single mom as like a settle, just generally speaking. I think it's just some people are just okay with it. You know what I mean? Older people especially might be in a situation where they're like, yeah, I'd like to have a positive impact on somebody else. Like as you get older, this has been in my experience, you become more and more wanting or to have a positive impact on other people, right? So for me, like if I wasn't with my wife, which would never happen, but let's just say I wasn't with my wife, I would date a single mom. I wouldn't care. I might even prefer it because they're in a spot in life where like I'm trying to be like I'm more like at because I'm older. So that would probably be part of the dating pool. I'm 34. I'd probably date like a 30-year-old woman. And like I would be okay with having like a positive impact on someone else's kid, and passing on at least part of like my morality or ideology in some capacity. Nothing wrong with that. And so like just the thought of like, oh, you're settling if you're with a single mom, which is what I received from the way that he's speaking about it. That's regressive to me. That's just not like a particularly productive thought. But yeah, again, he opens himself up to this criticism.
Because he's obedient, and every 20-year-old is too much work.
Like there's two different types of settling down. Like I settled down with my wife. Like I settled down from being a fucking like, going around trying to sleep with women, blah, 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 blah. But I didn't settle for my wife, right? So those are two different things.
Although he could have them if he wanted. I don't think Devon believes this. I don't think his fans believe this. I think it's actually him struggling with his cognitive dissonance. When we have cognitive dissonance as humans, either the facts have to change or we have to. Donovan chose to change the facts not through his actions, but through lying. He forces Devon to show her chest and shake her chest that he paid for. Putting aside the possible risks that come with any plastic surgery, you spend that much money on something so vain just to show it off to other men and maintain your image.
True.
It's pathetic in every sense of the word. Look how uncomfortable with it all she seems. Any man who genuinely loves their wife doesn't want their girl to be this uncomfortable, least of all because of them and public.
Yeah, I agree with that. Thank you so much for the $5, Jack Esposito. What's up, brother? Hey, Pop, it's my birthday today. Oh, shit, happy birthday. I'm fighting for my life here at work. The summer heat is brutal today, so the fiends are very cranky today. Hey, BQ505. You mean like the drug fiends, my brother? Well, good luck, my man. Good luck, my brother. I'm sure you'll be able to make it through.
Then he goes on to tell Devon, who just did that humiliation ritual for you. Devon, if I wanted a side chick, I'd go and get one. I'm starting to think this
Shit, if I ever said that for my wife, she'd smack the fuck out of me. That's how I want it. That's what keeps you in line.
guy doesn't even like his wife. Just look at the way he talks about her.
Zero time in 304 shaming them. I'll refer to Dev. Dude, when we first started dating, she used to brag about the dudes that she had smashed. Straight up. She used to brag about them. Dude, she used to brag all the time. Now, at first, I just told her, okay, stop. She didn't. And then I told her, look, when you
Wow, you couldn't even get her in line? That's weird.
talk about this stuff, it makes you unattractive. I said, I imagine you eating boogers when you talk like this.
What? Okay.
Stop it.
I feel like she never did brag about it. Like, people talk about their past relationships. It's very common. And if you, there's a thing where if you don't talk about your past relationships too much, or you talk about them too little, right? You talk about too much or too little, those are both red flags, right? There's a healthy balance of having a conversation of, you know, your past experiences in a way that, like, because you should be talking about those things with a new partner. Like, oh yeah, this happened, and this is why I left them, and this is how we weren't congruent, and this is, it's very normal to do. It's actually a red flag if you don't do it at all. But I highly doubt that she's sitting there doing that. This seems like a fantasy scenario that he's developed because he likes to be he likes to be a hero in his own mind. Like, he develops these fucking power fantasies. Like, yeah, she was doing this, so I was like, idiot. Like, that's kind of where, that's what I think that really where his mind is at more than anything else. I could be wrong, but I have a feeling that that's more of what it is, or he's exaggerating her behavior. But he just sounds really insecure here. So
She did it one more time. One more time.
I'm just
She
gonna
tested
beat
me. I shamed her literally to tears. You
you sex shamed her to tears. Wow, incredible.
better believe it. I called her every name in the book.
Wow, that's pathetic. If I was with somebody who wouldn't, like a person who wouldn't stop talking about their exes and like sex in a way that I found distasteful, I would just not talk to them anymore. Because why would I? Why would I want to engage with that person?
She was crying her eyes out.
Wow,
Devon slept with
that's pathetic. Why are you bragging about this?
a lot of guys, gentlemen. Devon has a high body count. You think I don't know
Wow.
that my own girlfriend has had with a lot of men? You think that
Seems like it's very important to you. That's why you feel the need to talk about it and justify it.
I think I found some special snowflake who declined partying through her 20s, even though she has a great body? Give me a break, guys.
Both before the expose and after. The only time he'll genuinely say something good about her is when he can use her as a trophy to promote his own business and get more course sales while stroking his ego. But then everything else, it almost seems like he doesn't even like Devon. Like, bro, we don't think you're cool for this. You gain no points for doing this at all. It's just super sad and pretentious. And when he
Yeah, true.
brags about his wife, it's always overtones of she's something I created. She's hot. She's got a big chest, etc., etc. That's all he cares about because he thinks it makes him look cool when in reality, this guy's a goober. Him attempting
Fucking goober. That's it. That got me. That killed me.
to gaslight us into wanting his girl does nothing for anyone besides satisfy maybe his weird fetish. If I broke down every psychotic thing this guy has done to his woman at the expense of his woman, this video will be longer than it already is. But I'll say it's a damn shame words like insecure and abusive are thrown around so much in reference to relationships. Guys get called insecure for not wanting girls who are easy, but this guy is the epitome of insecure. When Donovan got exposed, he
It's okay to be insecure, by the way, a little bit. There's like a reasonable amount of insecurity that you're allowed to, engage with.
flipped from bragging about how beautiful and obedient his wife is to more just gaslighting about his wife's beauty, while at the same time shifting the focus to how obedient she is and how well trained she is. In an effort to do so, he created a
Was he fucking a dog? Like, what's wrong with this guy?
litany of cringe skits that display just how insecure he is. Here's a date with Devon and Donovan.
Ladies first for now. Okay.
Reservation for Donovan Sharp. How do you pronounce your name, by the way? Dahlia? Thank you. Yeah, we're ready to order. Okay, so she is going to do for appetizer, she's going to go with the wood-grilled corn, aged cheddar, spiced bacon. For dinner, she's going to go with the field green salad and the wood-grilled Maine lobster tail. I am going to go with the lobster bisque for...
Well, listen, generally speaking, you ordering for your wife, I don't necessarily have like a problem with it. I'm a man and I understand what it's like to want to feel like a man, which my wife does, in different ways. And so I get that. But so it's like one thing for you to do this, but with everything else, this is just another aspect to him being like an egomaniac. He thinks this looks cool. Like for me, I don't care about this. In fact, sometimes I'll have my wife order just because it's like easier for me. Like I'll have her order the appetizers and her meal, and then I'll just order my meal. I don't know why. It's just like it's part of our like whatever. But I want to pay, right? So that's my thing. But this just is so bizarre. This is just like everything with this plus everything else is just such a weird behavior. It's just a controlling behavior. Did she even look at the menu? Did she even make her choice, or did you decide what she's gonna eat?
Appetizer, and then I'm gonna go with the lamb loin.
Lamb loin? You want those the lamb balls? Is that what you want?
Medium well. Mm-hmm.
Sees another man and immediately diverts her eyes away from him. Holy fuck. You know, that's a little conspiracy-esque, but I really wouldn't doubt that this guy is that fucking crazy and controlling that he would have a problem with that. Wow, incredible.
This guy's an actual crazy person. How insecure do you have to be to brag about the fact that your wife averts her eyes away from waiters and a man holding the door for her? You guys have to realize that well-adjusted people and people like Donovan live in two separate, distinct worlds. Because the way you need to see the world and view women to post this stuff as a brag has got to be some sort of mental illness. It's as if she's afraid of what Donovan will do or say.
I mean, it's not like it matters if she looks away. I'm still gonna look at her tits anyway. It doesn't matter.
If he sees her looking at another man. This is the relationship expert I'm supposed to be taking.
Do I choose a woman's meal choice without asking? Of course not. My wife my wife chooses whatever. That's the weird part. I feel like she didn't even get a choice.
Advice from, she looks like a victim, not a girlfriend. He even uploads videos on his own channel of him berating Devon in front of his live viewers, yelling at her, cussing at her, telling story times of how he yelled and cussed at her, and
what a man.
Much more.
The reason why it was disrespectful is I'm saying something and she is physically disagreeing. I am not about to have that.
Why? My wife disagrees with me. It's weak to not allow people to disagree with you. It's like you're trying to find a woman who will do whatever you want instead of a woman who will like put boundaries up. It's just pathetic.
Oh no, we need a united front. Watch and learn.
What?
Girls are going to be 18 years old. See, this is what I do. Hey, look at me. Look at me. That's what I don't need. You understand? Hey, I'm being dead serious. We're live on the air right now. I'm trying to give somebody advice. Don't be laughing like this is some joke. This is serious.
What?
There you go. Oh, no. Oh, no.
You know, the fact that she feels comfortable disagreeing with him publicly, it makes me feel like maybe he's not this fucking this literally is all a persona, and he's not like this fucking alpha male, because if she wouldn't feel comfortable unless, you know. So I feel like he just said, like, she looks at him like he's a stupid fucking baby, and it's like, yeah, he has these views, blah blah blah, but she knows that like half of it's bullshit and that he just does it for money because he needs to maintain his money.
Now that ain't me at all. And I told y'all, I told y'all about the Wendy's story a couple of Saturdays ago.
Oh yeah, Wendy's nuts were in your mouth.
Devon and I were at Wendy's. We were trying to use the Apple Pay, and she got.
This guy just said the Apple Pay. That's incredible.
Confused and kept, you know, the screen kept disappearing on her, and she got mad. She's like, "I'm not doing anything." I said, "Don't you yell, dude!" I went off. Dude, it was crazy, and the dude.
Why? Why are you getting so upset about that?
Like, whoa!
Like, it annoys me when my wife can't do simple tasks, too. Like, that's a thing that happens. I understand it. I don't brag about adjusting her on it. It's just like, okay, it's annoying as fuck. Like, I'll have to get up and do some simple tasks sometimes for my wife. Like, it is what it is. It's annoying. And then she'll have to do tasks for me as well. Like, it's whatever. I don't know. But I'm not bragging about it. Like, it's a fucking huge deal. What the hell?
And I continue. I was like, yo, I said, have you forgotten who the you're talking to? And so they go in and get our food, and he's like, hey man, is everything all right? I'm like, yeah, we're good.
Wow.
Move along.
Good for that guy. Trying to stick up for you know, an abused woman. Apparently.
Involve yourself in my. Yes, I'm not waiting till we get home. You wanna know why you don't wait till you get home to check your you wanna know why you don't wait till you get home to check your guys? Tell you another story.
Just be clear, you always if you're gonna have like a major argument, you never have it in front of anybody. It does not matter. My wife and I are on the same level. We've had like disagreements in public where we pretend like everything is fine and we act like everything's fine, and then once we get in private, we start talking about it and we start arguing about it. Like, your business is my business, is none of your fucking business. Like, my wife and I, and it doesn't happen all the time. This isn't something that happens very often. But like, we don't argue in front of people. That's not their fucking business. Like, we're not sitting here trying to get other people to think that we're badass tough people that are fucking, I'm the man of the relationship, I'm the this. No. But so you don't yell at, that's just like weird. It's a pathetic boundary. It feels like you just need to yell at her because you want to feel like a big man. But you shouldn't be arguing in general with your significant other in front of people. Like, that's stupid. If it's a petty little dumb arguments, whatever, but yeah, what?
This actually happened when we traveled. It might, dude, I think we had gone from like Miami to Vegas. It was finally.
What'd she pay for with her OnlyFans money?
We land in Philly, right? And we're walking through the terminal. We've got our bags. We're headed back to the car. And, you know, listen, it's late, we're irritable, you know, we're
Sure, like when my wife and I go on vacation, we will fight like every time a little bit. Nothing crazy. Like we bicker. We're Long Islanders. Because we're cranky. So like we went on a nice weekend vacation to Pennsylvania. It's like the lake house. Like her friend has a lake house. It was really nice. It was a lot of fun. But like we're fucking tired, so we're bickering about shit. So like it's whatever. Like it just is what happens. It's just not a like I don't brag about it though.
we want to get home and get to sleep. So I get on the escalator because I know the way to the car. And I'm going up the escalator. Airport is full of people. Devon calls up the escalator. Alex, you're going the wrong way.
Okay.
Yo. I can't even,
Would you sprint down and start beating her? Like
however drowsy I was, whatever brain fog I had, completely disappeared. Do you know what I said? Do you know what I did?
I don't know.
I said right back to her, politely as I can. I said, you go your way and I'll go mine. And
That's pathetic. You're just gonna leave your wife in the middle of a crowded airport? Okay, that's real manly there, buddy.
We'll meet you at the car. And that's what happened. And when we got to the car, I said, don't you ever address me like that in public again.
Address you like what? Hey, you're going the wrong way? It's not even a big deal. What?
There was actually family walking by. Family too, walking maybe an aisle over. And you know, it's all echoey. I told her, don't you ever talk to me like that in public. Ever again. Do you understand? She said, yes, sir.
Wow, that's pathetic. You're a loser if this is true. This guy's an actual pathetic loser.
That's how you handle a woman. That's how you handle her. Treating your wife like a slave, you're giving abuser vibes. Disgusting.
Yes, I'm surprised his own chat would say that.
I've never, I mean, you guys see this? And the fact that,
I mean, this is all his insecurity. Like, we understand that, right? Like, he needs people to, like, know. Desperately needs people to know that, like, I'm in control of everything. I'm the man. Like, he has an inferiority complex.
that I check her in public and on the air, in his mind or her mind, means I treat her like a slave.
Yes, because that's how you're talking, idiot.
Yeah, shadow pieces.
What are you, Alpha from the fucking from Power Rangers?
After this video, if you want some laughs and appear into the mind of someone like Donovan, please go watch his skits. Just go to playlist and watch all of his skits. I'm sure he'll appreciate the views. One of the most pathetic showings
That's funny.
when he compared and contrasted his girl to another YouTuber's girl. He genuinely thinks people are jealous of what he has. He can't fathom anyone criticizing him for anything else.
Devon did. Oh, Devon absolutely did. I told her, you're getting a set of fakes. She said, yes, sir. She said, yes, sir.
Why? Why do you want fake tits on your fucking girl? I don't understand that.
I paid $25,000 for Devon's magnificent. Devon was so thankful. She actually wrote me a letter thanking me
What?
for paying for her to become more attractive to me.
Why would she write you a letter? Why wouldn't she just tell you that in person? I'm very confused.
Would Miss Brown Sugar surgically enhance her body for you?
$25,000 for those tits, bro? Okay. That seems like a huge waste of money.
Earlier in this video, I alluded to Donovan hating himself. I think this is truer than we all might initially think. He gets most animated and angry when he's talking about older women and how they're such a scourge to society. Yet he dates one. He'll make fun of women with the same words and insults that fit him and his girl just the same, if not better. It's almost like he's angry at himself for where he ended up at. So he insults people who remind him of himself because he can't bear to face reality. I don't mean to be one of those YouTubers who think they're a head doctor and psych.
I mean, maybe. Like I said, I think it. I think it is more that he doesn't believe what he's saying, but he's stuck in saying it because this is the way that he makes money. So
analyze everyone, but I just think
But
it's
I
a
could be
possible
wrong.
reason for all this. Another could just be outright cope and delusion. Sure, we know he thinks his wife is what he thinks she is. That's delusional enough. He's not just delusional in relation to his wife and how he views her and demands others to view her, but to himself as well. In this clip, keep in mind Donovan was referring to this girl, who is also a celebrity.
100% her. And by the way, she would never admit this. She would never admit this. This shot at me twice. She shot at me twice before the podcast. So what do you do? Da-da-da-da. Do you have a girlfriend? I'm like, yep.
Now,
so maybe she did, maybe she didn't. Somebody asking you what you do for a living and asking if you have a partner is not necessarily shooting your shot. This guy sounds like he is possibly in like cope delusional land. You know, this is a problem with a lot of guys that they think that anytime a woman's nice to them, that woman wants to have sex with them. And so he seems to be that kind of person. I mean, maybe she was hitting on him. Maybe she was just like, hey, so like, how you doing? We're going to be on this podcast together. Like, let's chat a little bit. Doesn't have to be that fucking deep, buddy, but okay.
To be fair, there is a chance that a model was flirting with Donovan Sharp. But considering Donovan considers a waitress telling him her name light flirting, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he's delusional. He also thinks he has a million options and can do whatever he wants, but opts to settle down with Devon. I would say this is just part of his whole thing about lying, but this would be like him saying he's not black. It's about as obvious as his skin color that he isn't a high value man whatsoever. No girl my age without serious issues would even allow someone like Donovan near them, let alone be in his rotation.
Going on, right? Like if I want to, like honestly, you know, with my status and whatever the case may be, if I wanted to get with a girl, I could. I mean, I don't have to. I mean, you know.
Why do you need to tell us that? If it's true, why do we need to know? Why do you feel the need to tell us that? Like, why do we need to know that you could get girls? If you really could get girl, I don't understand. It's not really that hard to get girls as an older guy, in my opinion. I mean, like, yeah, I make good money too. Like, why is this even a conversation you're having? Why do you feel the need for people to think this about you? I don't understand it.
What I'm saying, like I've got, you know, status, money, all that good stuff.
Status
so
money.
I'm a
high value male, guys, but I'm not a high value male. I never said that.
Really privy to what it's like for the average man out there.
And for him to cope and say that he can get any girl that he wants due to status and money, both which he doesn't currently possess, is a pipe dream. Devon unironically has a million times the options, and that's not speaking highly of Devon. That's speaking lowly of Donovan and Donovan's relationship prospects.
Have you uploaded Love?
Well, she does have those new fake tits, so apparently that was partially to give her better options than the next guy. So
Is blind yet? 10 minutes later, she responds no. So you know what I did? I said when I text Caitlin, she texts right back. Now who
Jenner
was Caitlin? Caitlin is one of the models. She's a redhead. She's a model. She does not like Caitlin very much at all.
Sorry.
No. So you know, have you uploaded Love is Blind yet? 10 minutes later, she responds no. So you know what I did? I said when I text Caitlin, she texts right back. Now who is Caitlin? Caitlin is one of the models.
Are you saying that your wife didn't do something you wanted her to do, so you decided to pretend to flirt with another person?
She's a redhead. She's a model. She does not like Caitlin very much at all because Caitlin is younger. Caitlin is 31. Dev's 45. So there's a 14-year difference. Caitlin is not chopped liver, but she's not unattractive. I think that's the case. She knows Caitlin wants her boy. So I said when I text Caitlin, she texts right back. When you text back, crickets. Fix the problem. Then I told her I shouldn't be getting quicker responses.
These are all fake, by the way. I'm at the point now where none of this is real. This guy is creating fake text messages with his wife to sound like what he thinks is a badass. That's literally all that's happening. That's it. That's all I think. This is crazy. Like, none of this is true. There's just no way. None of this is true. This is all performance. They're doing fucking fake text messages just for this type of, like, this is just not true. This is pathetic for both of them.
From lives hundreds of miles away than the woman I live with. That's what I told her. That's what I told her.
Well,
I had to let her know. Then I told her some other thing.
It's crazy that you're apparently your girl just is constantly always getting out of line, and you have to put her back in line. That's really unimpressive, isn't it? Like, why does she feel so comfortable disrespecting you by your logic so often? It's because it's fake, and he does this so that he can get attention. He does this so that he can put on this performance that he's this fucking awesome badass.
Things. And she says, I know. I'm sorry. Now, did that make Devon feel comfortable? No. That didn't make her feel comfortable at all. But guess what? It was necessary.
Okay.
This just isn't how you treat someone in a relationship, especially a
He's not treating her like that. This guy's a fucking pussy. You could tell. All these are fake.
relationship like this, where she financially relies on him 100%.
I honestly think that he's like the nicest person in the entire world to her, and these are all stories so that he could sound like a badass. This is what he thinks a badass sounds like, by the way. This guy's a fucking cuck. Like, this guy literally this guy gets pegged in the ass by this woman. He likes to watch, he literally bought her fake tits so he can lay on his back while she fucks him in the ass, and he can watch her titties bounce, and he can come all over her tits and say, thank you, mommy. Thank you so much, mommy. That's what he does. That's just what his life is. This guy is fucking, he's gayer than an actual gay person. Like, he loves it up the ass. You could tell, dude. You could fucking tell. You can tell.
Also expect Devon to have left him on red for a day. The guy said minutes later, as if we're supposed to be shocked and appalled. That's normal. Or should I say, that's normal for you, the viewer, and I. But for Donovan, Devon lives to serve him. So what she did is not only not normal, but a slight against him, and he needs to retaliate against her and put her back in her place. Someone like Donovan, if he even had one more option past Devon that was similar to what he lied about Devon being, he'd be out of the relationship before he could even say scam. He would way rather be posting and showing off a younger, more attractive girl instead of what he's showing off right now. He's just doing this because that's his only option. But let's recap where we're at right now. In an effort to save face, Donovan went through a rebrand of sorts, coping about his wife's age and looks. He instead became a relationship guru instead of a dating expert. According to Donovan, Devon can't go to work because he gets
Is that what he is? A relationship guru? Incredible.
sloppy seconds because she doesn't wear work clothes at home.
As always,
Thanks, honey. You always make me feel like $1,000,000.
That's my girl.
Okay, I'm off to work. I'll see you when I get home. Hey, I'm home.
Pardon my language here, baby, but what the is going on here?
So your woman looks and smells her best for her boss and her coworkers.
But as soon as she gets home, she looks like she rolled out of bed? Does your woman look her best for you?
What? What the hell are you... Who's falling for this? I mean, people just like to look nice at work. It's not that big of a deal.
Or for her boss and or coworkers.
If the answer is the latter...
And you, my friend, are getting
Also, when people get home after like 8 hours of work, they tend to not look their best. It's just called the day going by.
sloppy work.
Devon can't bring her phone in the washroom for fear of her cheating.
I'm going to the bathroom.
All right.
14 minutes later, because she pooped, guys. She pooped. We had to know that.
I told you I don't commit to women who take their phones into the bathroom.
I just
What?
forgot this one time, okay?
Okay.
What? He thinks that this is badass? This guy's a fucking chump.
So, are we good then?
Yep, I called you an Uber.
This is so petty.
Call it what you want, but this is how I move, and you've known this from the start.
Ladies, don't pretend you've never texted an ex in the bathroom.
What? I don't even know how to respond to this. I'm sure people have done that before. Ladies, I don't even know what to say. This is actually, it's very rare that I don't know what to say. This is fucking crazy to me, though. This is just very, very crazy to me.
Or swipe for sausage on Tinder while in the shower.
Or God knows
Why is this guy so insecure?
what else you don't want your man to
This part I believe. I believe that he's absolutely like this insecure, to be honest with you.
find out about. Early when we were dating, I went to go to the bathroom. I had my phone with me. You're like, no, you can leave that here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you had to say.
Yep.
Okay, so he doesn't want me taking my phone to the bathroom. Guess I'll take a book. Guess I'll take a magazine.
So you're telling me in this instance, he said something one time and you instantaneously listened to what he said, but in every other instance, you're constantly challenging him? Yeah, I doubt that. One of these things does not add up. One of these things is not adding up. Either she's lying about how quick she was to affirm to this boundary or adhere to this boundary, or they're lying about all these other scenarios where he's like, yeah, she got it along, so I had to correct her. I mean, that's the one I think of more. And the reality is he's just insecure, dude. He's just like fucking, he's got that Homelander, let me suck on my mommy's titties bullshit going on there. He wants to drink her milk.
You know, like there are other things to do. Read a shampoo bottle. Who knows?
Devon has cameras in her house, key loggers on her phone, and has to take pictures of any place she goes to.
It's the same reason why you check in. It's the same reason why you installed the dash cam. It's the same reason why you put cameras in your house. So that I know that you're not up to anything nefarious.
He made Devon quit her job and work for him and is now dying business, and I'm
That is pathetic and insecure and embarrassing. This guy's a loser.
inserting my own speculation here, but I believe it was due to his own insecurities. Also, I believe
Yeah, of course. Anybody in the red pill like sphere is insecure. This guy's probably just the most insecure person I've ever seen.
it's by design to make it harder for her to leave him. There's this thing called financial abuse.
That's possible.
It occurs when one partner exerts control over the other by manipulating their access to financial resources. This could happen when an abuser coerces or forces.
Part of it could be that she just knows how to, listen, like I always say, I say this, a good woman knows how to make a man feel like a man. And so she's just making her man feel like a man. I wouldn't doubt that she doesn't feel threatened at all by this guy, and that she just knows that he's a stupid little fucking baby that needs to be coddled like a dumb little child. And she's okay with doing that because she loves him. I would not doubt that at all. That's my guess. Could be wrong. Maybe he's like horribly abusive, but he just seems like he seems like the kind of guy that's a pushover that likes to get pegged in the anus. So I don't think that that's true. Yeah.
Their significant other to quit their job, thereby creating a dependency on the abuser for all financial needs. This makes the victim reliant on the person for basic necessities like food, shelter, transportation. This essentially entraps them in a relationship due to lack of resources to seek help and escape. In a vacuum, telling your significant other to leave their job because it's too stressful for them is completely fine and can make sense in certain instances, but it's Donovan we're talking about. I'm not just looking at the act of forcing her to quit her job, I'm looking at
his argument is that he made her quit so he had full control over her. So this argument doesn't make sense. But again, I think it's all for show. He's a fucking loser.
That plus all his behavior leading up to this. And it's safe to say he didn't do this for altruistic reasons.
Miss Brown Sugar quit her job for Obsidian. Devon did. She didn't even ask me permission. I told her she was quitting her job.
Wow.
She said, okay.
Cool guy.
And finally, Devon is the hottest girl in the men's improvement space. Although I'm not familiar with all of them, I bet my bottom dollar that's not true.
Look, man, I mean, dude, I got the best looking woman in the manosphere. That's why everybody talks about her.
And felt
Is he watching a Destiny video?
What you felt. To me, there was.
But if we look at Donovan before ADJ's video, single moms are unattractive. Now Donovan is dating one. All single moms are hoes. Yeah, he parades his around as such. Anyone who dates a single mom is a loser, but he's a 1% man. Everything he said has been projection, lie, or both. All that's left now is for him to get married to her, and surely he wouldn't do that. What with all the videos of him saying how terrible marriage is, videos saying he allegedly
Yeah, we watched the marriage a while ago, so I'm assuming this video is going to lead up to that marriage.
he already is married to her, especially to a single mother and a post-wall woman, as he puts it. You gotta be kidding me. The boy actually got married to her too?
Okay, listen, I always get on people for using rhymes and poetry and linguistic symmetry, but I'm gonna say it right now. Do the right thing and don't give her that ring. Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, cave into a woman's whims when it comes to getting married.
Why?
You shouldn't get married in the first place. Well, we need to get married or I'm leaving. Bye.
Why? Why shouldn't you get married? I like marriage. I think it's a nice show of commitment to somebody so you can build a life together. You don't have to agree with that, but that's what I like about marriage. Just want to make sure you find the right person before doing it.
Dude, let Devon pull some like that. You want to know why Devon doesn't pull that with me? Because she knows what would happen.
And it looks like he documented every single moment of it. From his sad, sad, sad proposal to his almost sadder wedding, Donovan has been documented insulting every—
Yeah, like half of it was upside down. That's what I remember. I remember half of it. Let me see if I can try to link it in this video later, but half of it was like upside down. He couldn't even film it right.
everything he's done and currently does now. So it's no surprise he went against his supposed ideals and standards and got married to a single mom. And like Donovan is known to do, he made it as corny as possible. Every time he does one of these things that go against everything he teaches,
Well, he's an old guy. Old people make everything corny. You know, we're corny as fuck.
he tries to maintain frame in his own way. Yeah, Devon is an older woman and I lied about it, but she's still hot. Yeah, she's a single mom and I lied about it, but she's well trained. Yeah, she's out of shape, but she's got big fake you-know-what. This wedding is no different. Instead of getting down on one knee like a normal person, he wants to be seen as cool to his audience and still an alpha Chad, so he can't do such a thing.
I'm just gonna tell Devon we're gonna get married. I'm not gonna ask her. I'm just gonna be like, hey, we're getting married.
Damn, what an alpha male.
That's all
He's gonna make me come from how fucking awesome he is.
there is to it. Hey. Hey, we're getting married. Yeah. You look overjoyed. Wave to the people.
Wow.
All right, that's it.
This whole thing was a performance, by the way. All of this was a performance piece.
Getting married is a beautiful thing. There's nothing to be ashamed of when you love a woman and she loves you back. You should make a marriage proposal special if you're going to go through with it. Many men in this red pill world hate marriage, and that's okay. Quick lesson on marriage. There are many safeguards for women because they are taking a huge risk with marriage. Red pill men, in the same breath as them saying,
Well, there's a lot of safeguards for people that don't have the same finances, we'll say. I think that that's a better way to look at it. That's the way I would look at it. If you're somebody that doesn't have a lot of reason, like if you're this person that's going to take the passive role in the relationship and like take care of the house and stuff, even if you're a guy, that's who the safeguards are for, because you're giving up your ability to have financial independence to support somebody else's finances, right? Because like if you're a person that makes like $200,000 a year and you get divorced, you're still making that money. If you're somebody who gives everything up to support that person that makes $200,000 a year, you're left with nothing after 20 years. So obviously you should get something like alimony, et cetera, et cetera.
women hit the wall faster than men. Single moms struggle dating after marriage, and single fathers don't as much. Women should be stay-at-home moms when they're married, et cetera, et cetera. We'll say men have no benefit of being married, and women get all the benefits. The reason these safety guards are in place for women is because if they weren't, once wives weren't as fertile, young, beautiful, etc., what's stopping a man from jumping ship on their stay-at-home wife with no job? And furthermore, what's that woman with minimal relationship prospects, no funds, and no job experience gonna do to survive? That's why these safety nets such as alimony, child support, etc. are in place. That's not to say everyone must get married, that there aren't bad actors who abuse these things, or even that marriage benefits one or the other more. In reality, all men and women need from each other, as corny as it sounds, is love. Anything else a man can pay
Wow, beautiful stuff, brother. I love it.
for and a woman can pay for. Donovan clearly loves his wife, even if he does express it like a controlling, toxic, power-tripping maniac. You're not gonna make your wife download keyloggers and do all this extra stuff for fear of her leaving you if you didn't think she was the best you can get, and more poignantly, if you weren't deathly afraid of losing her. That being said, why make your proposal like this? To seem cooler to your fans at the expense of your wife who's already going through hell and back being with
Bro, he is cool. What are you talking about?
you? The comments under this video are literally all negative. Side note, it's funny how he blames YouTube, ADJ, and everyone else when it's obvious he's just incongruent, and his fans echo the same sentiment. Did he do this to sell more courses and Patreon memberships? We all know that ship has already sailed. More likely is to keep what little self-respect he has for himself. He walks in on—
Well, I think part of it is that he thinks that this will gain him traction again. Again, this guy is shit. He sucks. This guy is somebody who, for a big part of this video, or at least early on, there was a lot going on about how he didn't understand why he wasn't doing well. That's what it was communicated to me. And so to him, he thinks like he's like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? He thinks that he has to keep doing this kind of like stuff to get popular. And I guess there's a level of truth, well, kind of that. when the reality is you need to obviously shift your content strategy to, you know, actually generating more people to watch.
Devon while she's training, recording her workout with her trainer on Zoom. Side note, this guy claims he pays his trainer $2,400 a month to train Devon, but most personal trainers are $100 to $200 on the high end per visit. Here we
Why would you need to pay that much money for a personal trainer for like almost nothing going on?
You can see Devon isn't even with a real life personal trainer, just a Zoom call. And even when he did post a trainer, which is allegedly so expensive, this is what she looks like. Something isn't adding up here. I think we know whose math is off. One last side note, Mr. Big Bucks has a 1-car garage, so I guess it's 4, and like he says, soon to be 5 cars are all chilling outside his rented townhouse. Anyway, how embarrassing is it? His wife is in her workout clothes, not the most flattering for her hard 9 body, on Zoom with a trainer, getting the saddest, most I could take it or leave it proposal ever.
We're getting married, but we're not getting legally married.
What?
No way I would ever get legally married. We're gonna do the.
He says, guys, we're getting married, but not legally married. And I did it like an alpha male. I'm still congruent, right? Right, guys? No, you're not. Gains of the Fresh and Fit podcast will be there, and not just in any context. He'll be there as the best man.
Best man? And this was the news that I got on the air the other day.
Oh, it was Myron there?
That I was so excited about. My best man is going to be Myron Gaines.
Wow, that's pathetic.
Myron Gaines has agreed to be my best man at our wedding.
He's not even a man. What do you mean?
Like I said, the bridesmaids are going to be the red pill ladies of the house.
Myron isn't the most congruent with his teachings either.
And then I will.
Oh yeah, he's very gay for his boyfriend, you know, Walter. So, and that's why he hates women so much and thinks that eating pussy is disgusting.
Well, that's power vested in me, Donovan Sharp. She's my wife.
This is the hardest watch ever. The secondhand embarrassment was palpable.
Yeah, I was pretty hard while watching, baby.
Her vows were sad in a Stockholm Syndrome kind of way, and his were sad in a wow, you're still trying to seem alpha even after all of this kind of way.
Alright, ready?
I'm ready.
Each day, when we wake up, we choose one hour. You have taught me that the rent is due every day and not to take things for granted. A healthy garden takes watering, pruning, and attention in order to flourish. Thank you for demanding the best in me always. I promise to stand beside you, walk behind you, and be a reliable source of peace for you. I promise to show you my love through my actions, words, and thoughts. Together, our lives are.
From what I remember, she had some pretty she had some pretty nice vows, and then his were just absolute dog shit.
Great, and the sky is the limit. I love you, and I'm happy to be your wife.
City, this has been a hell of a ride. And the way we met was very unorthodox. Our relationship is very unorthodox.
Wait, how did they meet? They probably met on a campsite. I swear to God. Is that how they met? Did we figure that out?
You're wearing a wedding ring now because, well,
you helped him gather research for Donovan's expose? That's funny. Your name is Donovan's a single mom. That's very funny. Bro, I swear to God. Does anybody know how these two met? Because I would almost guarantee that they met on a campsite. Like, he was jerking off to her fucking tits or something on a campsite, and he simped so hard for her, and he decided to marry her. And they have this whole illusion that, like, he's this alpha male, but he probably literally sucks his fucking dildo for her. That has to be true. There's no way that that's not true, bro. I guarantee that that's fucking true.
2.5 years, but, you know, like I said, I bring out the best in you. But you make me happy, you really do. I was happy before you, and if you and I decide to part ways for whatever reason, I'll be happy without you. But I'm very, very glad to have someone like you in my life. I've been successful at many ventures in my life, and I've never really had someone like you. I really haven't. I'm glad that I made you into the woman you are today, and I'm glad
what a weirdo.
that you continue to hold that standard. Success is really, really cool to have, to be financially successful, but it's much, much sweeter when you have someone like you to share it with. And so, by the power vested in me, I pronounce us man and wife.
Ooh, she looks nice in that dress. Good for her.
A key way to know someone is lying is if they have to reassure you constantly of something. Guys who are constantly trying to tell you they were rich before you two probably weren't. Guys who are constantly trying to tell you they don't need you probably do. And the ending of the wedding was just as bad as you can imagine. I don't know if it's because I'm half this guy's age or what, but whenever this guy brags about his life with his wife, it just feels so wrong. This is so unbecoming of someone almost 50 years old. Many YouTubers, including Abba and Preach, made a video on this guy, and
it's just so impressive how insecure he is as a 50-year-old man.
His wedding. Here's Donovan's response to that.
Preach, your wife is a fat.
Whoa,
I'm gonna say that one more time. Preach, your wife.
I'm pretty sure I checked out the Abba and Preach video. I'm almost guarantee you that they never insulted his wife at all. But this is just what this guy does. He just insults other people's he just insults other people's partners, and then he gets like a small smidgen of that back, and he has a meltdown and bans everybody from the chat. It's fucking hilarious.
Wife is a fat, and if you have a problem with it, then you can challenge me to a boxing match, and I will you up, and you know it.
Yeah, again, I struggle to decide
I don't even think this guy would get cleared for boxing, but okay.
whether I feel bad for Devon, but she's a victim of her circumstances and led her to be a victim of Donovan. But at the same time, you're co-signing your husband saying this about someone else's wife when you guys aren't exactly looking like ASAP and Riri yourself. When you take a step back, you get
Riri? Oh, Rihanna. Gotcha.
to see how much of a hold over Donovan's entire life ADJ's video took on him. Everything he does is to try and recover the image that was shattered. From making his girlfriend an OF girl so hopefully other men find her attractive, to marrying his girlfriend to seem more congruent, for being exposed.
Well, I think it has more to do with the fact that he needs the money.
Is already married, to literally changing his whole brand. Another big move Donovan did that I brought up earlier was the CME, the Conference of Masculine Excellence. Donovan
Whoa, that's crazy. Was that on Pride Month?
made this conference after being booted from the Black Manosphere / Red Pill by O'Shea Duke Jackson, running to ADJ, then being booted from there as well. So as a result, he made his own conference to compete against ADJ's. Donovan's CME started in 2021, and he's attempted one every year since. I say attempted because they've all been abject failures. In fact, the best one was the first one, but even that one is only good in comparison to the others he had. Starting with CME 1, Donovan actually had a good number of guest speakers there, and many within the Red Pill community who had actual followings unlike him. Most notably, Myron Games, Coach Greg Adams, and
Yeah, Myron seems to be a real, seems to give him a lot of help, we'll say. Seems to give him a lot of help. Seems to really be a ride or die for this guy. Because when I was looking up Donovan Sharp, like during this segment that we're doing now, I saw that like they're announcing he's back, and the only reason that they would do that is so that they can try to give him a little bit of a plug to try to get him some, views, a little view boosting from his account. So
guys like them made speeches at the CME. But the thing is, it still was a failure. He lost money on the CME, and he'll freely admit this. The first one, he booked at the Venetian Hotel Ballroom, which is huge and presumably very expensive. Yet, it wasn't a great turnout. So for that reason, Donovan had to vastly size down for CME 2. Of course, he couldn't do this without lying about the reasoning. The reason he stated was that ADJ sent a letter saying he's a misogynist, and he got banned from hosting events there. Donovan, due to your past actions, I'm not going to believe that. But moving on to the CME 2, we can see that's a lot smaller and a lot sadder. Before it even started, it was canceled. It was supposed to be in Dallas, but Donovan lied about having COVID and didn't refund any of the few tickets that were sold. Color me
what an asshole.
surprised. This one is pretty circumstantial, but in a community post, Heather, his assistant, who I suspect is just Devon, claims he hires staff to read comments for him because he's too busy, but in reality he gets trolled and is too immature to ignore it. So he probably has Devon read it. Maybe even he
just ignore it. I don't really read my comments either. Fuck you.
reads it himself, but just lies about that in an effort to get trolls to not even bother. Donovan lies about any and everything, especially when it can make him seem more like a big shot. Any YouTuber will tell you that at his size and his YouTube income, paying a staffer to read comments, not even to engage and drive up interaction, just to give you the feedback from the comments you can view yourself, is a terrible financial decision if Donovan could even afford that. Sometimes he even responds to
Yeah, I mean, I doubt it's true. He's probably reading it himself, and then he wants to seem like a tough guy, so he's like, yeah, I had my I had my employee reading it. I didn't even read it myself because they're so stupid, but they said you were being mean to me, so he doesn't have somebody paying to read his, and he doesn't have enough comments to even have somebody pay for, or to even to pay for somebody to read them. So
comments and forgets it's supposed to be a staffer, and the way he responds doesn't sound like a staffer, more like an angry Donovan. Anyway, Heather wrote that Donovan was rushed to the hospital because of the virus, but she said he'll be fine because it's a hospital that specializes in the Delta variant. This is objectively BS.
What the hell does that mean? What?
There's no such thing as specializing in the Delta. You're not even tested for variants. You're just treated for the main thing. Variant testing is done with samples just to track how variants are moving in the population. It's not for individuals to know, just the CDC. Although this is more or less speculation, if this guy is willing to defraud his own flesh and blood and lie about his whole life for course sales and interactions, YouTube money, and whatever
Donovan Sharp committed identity fraud against his own father. Damn. Crazy.
else, stealing a few $1,000s and
They do look the same. And not because they're black guys, okay? It's because they're family. And you usually look like your family, all right?
blaming it on the bug isn't unbelievable. If I were to bet, I bet he did it because he probably needed that money and got horrendous ticket sales, so decided to can the whole thing and gave an excuse for why he did it. When CME 2 did pop off, it was held in a broom closet at some Holiday Inn. It was held in Miami where Fresh and Fit are based, and his main selling point was Fresh and Fit was going to be there. Apparently, according to Donovan,
were they actually there?
Because ADJ threatened them, they didn't show up.
Some people cannot be made events with, so that's really a lot of Yeah, yes sir. Anybody else?
Damn, they didn't even show up? I'd be so pissed if I was a fucking idiot that would pay to see Fresh and Fit.
Are Myron Fresh still?
But I did pay $4,000 to do a meet and greet, guys, so, because I'm an alpha male.
He's speaking right now.
Here's the truth, guys. I wanted Myron and Fresh to be here. I did. They might come, but the problem with them being associated with me is that there's a certain individual who punishes them for being associated with me. Right? Myron has a lot of people to be responsible for financially. The Fresh and Fit podcast is an industry.
Damn, he's like really victimizing himself over this like random fucking white guy with a fake MAGA hat on.
There are employees.
Isn't this the same guy he's complaining about? Like,
I'm talking benefits, everything. That thing is a runaway train, and it's not stopping anytime soon. Myron's one of my best friends. Unfortunately.
So your best friend's not going to show up because it might make him look bad? I'm not understanding. How would him showing up to this event ruin his reputation or career?
Some of my adversaries know that we're really good friends, and that person knows the influence that Myron has. So anytime I come down here to Miami, if they mention the CME on Fresh and Fit, they unfortunately they're attacked. So I'm going to leave that up to Myron.
By what? I don't understand. What?
I would like for him to come, but I'm not going to ask him to risk his livelihood, Walt's livelihood.
Lively? What? This guy's acting like whoever his adversary is has like this massive pull to ruin people's lives and careers. This is fucking insane.
Maurice's livelihood or Aaron's livelihood to speak. I honestly, I thought he might come through, but he's still a little bit timid just given what's happening behind the scenes. But I can assure you that those who have done these things will pay.
But that doesn't make sense.
What the fuck is this guy's? This guy's on like literal victim brain. Although he's got to come up with some excuse, huh?
Because Myron and Fresh showed up at the CME later. They skipped the actual CME, then once it was over, they pulled up. They were just chatting and posing for photos. Did they clear that with ADJ? More likely, it was all a lie. Again, my speculation, but it seems like Myron committed at one point, saw that the attendance was less than 30, told Donovan it's not worth my time to prepare a whole speech and presentation, but I'll pull up afterwards, and did just that. CME
that makes sense, yeah.
3 came around, and again, another selling point was Myron coming on as a guest. And of course, he just outright didn't show up at all this time. He claimed to have sold 75 CME tickets, and everyone was allowed a +1, yet this is the turnout of the event? Less than 100 people were there. This man is losing money on event, money he clearly needs, but at the very least will soon need if his YouTube continues on this trend, just to spite someone and of course maintain his image. Wow. Now we're on the rapid fire round of Donovan's live.
Isn't it crazy like you show up to some kind of hotel or something so you can have a manosphere chat and then everybody's there, it's like, hey, what's going, like the employees are like, what's going on in that room? Oh, some fucking losers like got over there. So a bunch of fucking losers decided that they were going to rent us out for the day because they wanted to talk about how women were bad people.
Lies and manipulation. We know Donovan is obsessed with maintaining his fragile image. So with that comes lies.
Well, what I find interesting is that Donovan has not maintained his image. He's a joke. I think everybody in every sphere that's ever engaged with him knows he's a joke. So it hasn't worked, bud.
Lies about his wealth that I touched on a bit earlier, but he also lies about owning several rental properties while in Vegas. He then goes on to say that the reason he had to sell them was because Yellen raised interest rates a lot.
I'm not going to sit here and say, well, the reason why Devon is with me is because I ran airtight game. No, no. When Devon met me, I owned 7 rental properties in Las Vegas. She knows I'm a man who can make
How'd you lose them? How come you don't own them anymore, buddy? Book every
money. Even when I decided to sell all my properties, when Janet Yellen raised the interest rate to 40,000%, she was still with it because
why would you sell your properties because interest was raised? It makes no sense to me.
She saw the potential, right?
This guy never owned any property. Like, owning property is one of the biggest or best investments that you can make if you can maintain it. So this is just not true. He didn't own any fucking properties. This guy's living a facade.
False. Rates barely moved under her. Furthermore, from 2012 to 2019, which was around the time he said he was buying rental properties, real estate prices skyrocketed. 2012 was an amazing time to buy.
I had sales jobs here and there. I got lucky with this. Now, I did start my own mattress company, and I ended up selling that off. Then I got lucky with a few rental properties in Vegas. But then, of course, the housing bubble and all that, I got out just in time. But I got lucky on YouTube. All I wanted to do, Tommy.
These are the
okay. Crazy.
Vegas housing values since 2010. No bubble bursting, only upward trajectory. Donovan again just vaguely.
Well, the bubble would have bursted in like 2008. If that, maybe that's what he was referring to. I have no idea.
Understands these concepts. He knows there was a housing crisis in 2008, just like everyone does, so he just references that. If he bought 7 properties in 2010, he'd be quite rich by now. It makes zero sense to have sold it in this climate. He clearly does not understand basic financial terms. My guess is he knew a guy who owned rental properties and heard him talk about things in passing, thought he was cool, and then began to say that he owned those 7 properties. Also, he said he had to borrow money for a one-way ticket to Vegas in 2010. Then he got a job at a call center. Then he said he had fast cars and did coke with strippers all the time. Does any of this sound like a person who saved up enough money to buy not 1, but 7 properties quickly?
Yeah, of course it does.
Didn't think so. Also, he probably had terrible credit. He was arrested on identity fraud in North Carolina. And from 2010 to 2012, this was right after the great financial crisis. So lending rules were super strict. Nothing about this story makes sense because it's all a lie, in my opinion. Here, Donovan said,
yeah, it most likely is a fucking lie. This guy's an idiot. His whole thing, well, I mean, he has to make up some of this fake credibility just so that people will maybe pay for his idiot course or his Patreon or whatever he's selling.
As he retained 2 law firms to sue Anthony Johnson.
I have already retained 2 attorneys, bought and paid for. I have the money.
That seems like a bad business investment. I didn't know that rich people tried to waste as much money as they possibly could on everything. Thank you for the $5 for toast. Hey, Papa, would you rather date yourself as a woman or your wife as a man? I think my wife is a man. I can't tolerate myself in general. I'd fucking hate myself. So I think I'd date myself as a woman. So, yeah.
And the time.
I mean, my wife is a man, for sure.
To see this through.
Maybe she would just, like, transition to a trans man. And then she would, and then she would keep her vagina. So that'd be pretty cool. So
Now, you don't have to take my word for it. One of my guys sent a comment on one of Anthony's videos. Yeah, I don't pay attention to Donovan's idle threats. Okay, all right. Listen. 21 Studios, 21 Convention fans, hey, please don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it at all. Please make the egregious mistake of thinking that I'm... Because in the immortal words of Marcellus Wallace, I'm not through with you by a sight. Now,
who the fuck is Marcellus Wallace?
there's not going to be, you know, a blowtorch or whatever he said in Pulp Fiction. But legally, this is not...
Yeah, he was a cool character.
Not over. I will absolutely, positively make sure I see this all the way through to the end. I have more than enough money to see this through to the end and further than that.
Brags that he has all the money in the world to do.
This guy's a loser. What the fuck?
Reality is, the only thing he could even bring against ADJ is a defamation suit, as far as I can tell. However, the statute of limitations for defamation is 1 year in Florida, where
defamation for what? What did the guy say that would be considered defamatory?
ADJ is, and 2 years in New Jersey, where Donovan is. This video was done in 2021. Every now and then, he again says some legal actions coming to ADJ. He'll probably be saying that in 2040 if he's even around by then. And anecdotally, he's currently doing a reaction to a stupid reality show on Hulu, but he refuses to purchase Hulu, so his viewers have to sit through ads with him. He even makes commentary on set.
Wait, what? Why wouldn't you pay for like the $15 for Hulu if you're so rich?
Like my brother, it's $17. You can't make a business purchase for that amount? I thought you said you were rolling in cash. Truth is, you're not. You're broke, and that's okay. Just stop lying about everything in your life. He also lied about...
That's fucking awesome. This guy is a fucking goober.
...about being wealthy after he sold his properties in Vegas and then moved in with Devon. If he was wealthy, why was she supporting? Why did she pay for their vacation to Hawaii? Why did O'Shea Jackson say he found Donovan...
Was it confirmed that she paid for all this shit?
...been working in a warehouse in Reno? This last one is like a cherry on top and has elements of everything wrong with Donovan. Pathological lying, trying to fit in, pretending to be wealthy, objectification of Devon, demented view of relationship. It's just too good. Before you see these clips, keep in mind he's reacting to a show where Myron says he intends to have a house separate from his wife or wives when he's married. Donovan,
why would you do that? That's weird.
Like the lapdog he is, piggybacks on that on the spot, makes up this lie about having his own apartment for zero reason. Genuinely a pathological liar.
There are times where I need to separate myself from her. That's why I have the studio. That's why I've got my apartment downtown. Well, it's not really an apartment. It's really kind of a luxury loft.
This guy's a fucking weirdo. Yeah, I like to sometimes get some distance from my wife as well. So I have my office downstairs in our house. That's it. There's no reason for an entire other house. If I wanted like the wait time that much, I'll go out and just do something alone, which I do. Fairly, like every once in a while. I like doing things alone. Like I like going to malls by myself and sitting down and like eating and like window shopping sometimes, and even like shopping. Like whatever. That's you know, it's not this alpha male. Oh, I have a whole house for that. Why? Why did you do that? If I had enough money to have a separate house, I would get like I'd buy like a timeshare or something. Like why the fuck would I waste it on a house that I could sometimes go to? That's just stupid. That's just a waste of money.
Right. Kind of like, what it's all one room, but exposed brick everywhere. Unbelievable view. It's really, really nice.
Okay.
Really, really nice.
Incredible.
I think I closed on it like 2 months after we got here. Something like that.
He's like the kid we all knew in elementary school that just yes man's the cool kids to death. You got that sick Pokemon card? Well, actually I have 5 of those at home. Again, an apartment in downtown Philly is an excessive $3K a month. This guy wouldn't even pay for Hulu. Why would you live in a cramped townhouse? Why not take all that rent and spend it on one nice place? Wealthy people don't have dog crates in their bedroom, like I said, and nor do they have plastic organizers from Target. Little interjection here, Donovan is the gift that keeps on giving, because remember how Donovan said he met Devon online after reading one of his articles? Turns out that was a lie.
No, dude, I guarantee you, bro. I guarantee you that this guy met her on a fucking cam website. That's what I think. I genuinely think that.
And I ended up on one of his articles on Return of Kings.
Did you now?
I did. And I laughed so hard.
Because as I was editing, he told a different story as to how he met, literally while I was making this video.
In Reno. And then, of course, a short time after I moved to Reno, I saw an ample, pertly individual at was it AutoZone or Advanced Auto? Anyway, I don't know what Devon was doing there, but I walked right up to her, I approached her, I was like, hey.
Maybe getting things for her car.
Hey, my name's Alex. Got the digits. Then she hit me on Twitter. She found my Twitter. Then she hit me on Twitter. She's like, is this you? I'm like, yeah, that's me. And the rest, as they say, is history. So a lot.
Wow. Some would say it's her story, right? Because I'm a feminist, guys. Trust me, women. Leave your drink alone with me.
A lot of nostalgia.
And once again, I struggle to feel bad for Devon because she allows him to make up stuff about her on the fly to fit.
Dude, I don't believe either of those stories. They fucking met. He was jerking off to her on a cam website. That's all it is. That's my theory.
Whatever image or thing he's trying to sell in the moment. My assumption is
he's looking up fucking milfs on a cam website. He found her. That's my story. That's what it is, guys. That has to be it. That's what I believe.
He wants to seem so dominating.
I have no proof, but I don't care. That's what I think.
Good with women that the real story of how they met, assuming all these stories aren't just total lies and we have yet to hear the real story of how they met, wasn't good enough. They made up a tale about an AutoZone and him meeting her. He also told her his government name, Alexander Hopkins, yet somehow found him on Google as Donovan Sharp back when he didn't even use his real name. Gotcha. If you're gonna lie so much, be good at it. You're going into unnecessary detail, Donovan, so now it's obvious and
that's true. It's a sign of a liar.
Easy to find out when you're lying. I just have to put 2 clips of you lying back to back. At least when you keep it vague, I have to go somewhere else to find the information. But when you specifically lie 2 different times, all I gotta do is watch you. Me personally, I believe everyone deserves second chances and that people can change. That's the beautiful thing about human experience.
Well, he's like 50 years old. He's not changing anything. And he's too terrified to like actually make an actual solid effort on his content. He's just going to keep doing the same dumb idiot grift. So,
but there does come a time where we can bet against that happening for certain people. Donovan Sharp was once a shining star.
Yeah, I don't know what the dog creed has to do with wealth. I just think that this guy he's not some fucking rich playboy that he pretends to be. And at this point, it's just like, here's a bunch of reasons why that he's a fucking loser. So, but yeah, I mean, whatever.
Corner of the internet called the Manosphere, or sometimes known as the Red Pill. He even got pushes from prolific content creators like 21 Studios, O'Shea Duke Jackson, Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, Fresh and Fit, and more recently, Just Pearly Things. But there's a reason that he alone is stuck where he's at.
I haven't seen anything of hers in a while. I wonder how she's doing.
And struggling. And contrary to his beliefs, it's not YouTube. It's not the magical algorithm. And it's not even Anthony Johnson's video. It's the man in the mirror. It's the man who spun a web of lies so vast.
Michael Jackson.
That he and his wife got tangled up in it. A web so wide that his only option was to...
She's doing all right. 155k views 5 days ago is pretty decent. Coffee Thoughts. I moved to America. The future of the channel. Wow. I don't think I care, but she's doing okay. For her channel size, she's not doing amazing, but it's not bad. She's losing followers, though.
Keep spinning more lies to sustain it. But the thing about lies is that they have a way of catching up to you, especially the more you spin them. They're like cracks in a dam. Small at first, but they slowly grow until the whole structure collapses under the weight of deceit. The truth, on the other hand, is like a sturdy foundation. It may be hard to face at sometimes, but it's much easier to maintain than a web of lies. As he continued down this path of deception, the dangers became increasingly apparent. People who were once his peers began to distance from Donovan, recognizing the brand risk that his lies...
Why is your camera so bad? How's her TikTok doing? Let's see. Oh, it's banned. Great, good job. How's your Instagram doing, Pearl? Wow, it's banned. Incredible. How's your Twitter doing, Pearl? I guess it's doing decently. She's putting some clips on there still. Seems to be doing okay. Right, incredible stuff.
Behavior post. Fresh and Fit were the most loyal to him.
Thank you for the $5 from Enter. Was that Chazman? Sup, Papa? Discovered you while waiting for H3 to come back from break. Keep doing Lord's work. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. That's my biggest view boost, guys, is when H3's on break. I'm the budget H3, guys. Okay, that's what it boils down to now. My legacy. Nah, I appreciate that, my man.
Even have roots from Donovan's podcast before he was exposed. Haven't had him on since last year, while at the same time having guys like Zerka, who I did a video on, and Sneeko on regularly, despite not knowing them for a fraction of the time that they knew Donovan for. And who can really blame them? Donovan's
a loser, and he doesn't pull any views. That's why they're gonna do that. And he also is probably like an annoying friend to be around, if I'm being real. Let's be real. Like, he seems like he seems like the kind of guy that just talks, doesn't really have anything of value to say. Like, you're telling a story, and he's just like, yeah, me too. Yeah, I had that. Me too. I did the same thing. Okay, cool, man. Thanks. Happy that we're having a genuine conversation.
Terrible for any brand, let alone a brand that relies on being everything Donovan is. Trust, once lost, is not easily regained, and even those who are willing to give him the benefit of the doubt found themselves questioning his integrity. Him trying to double down his alpha male persona only served to exacerbate the situation. What he saw as strength, we all see as insecurity attempting to be hidden by bravado. His attempts to assert dominance only made him a laughingstock in the eyes of those who saw through the facade. In Donovan's relentless pursuit to be someone he's not, he inadvertently revealed his true self to everyone around him. Instead of projecting strength and confidence, he showcased weakness and insecurity and a penchant for deceit. The tragedy of the situation lies not only in Donovan's unraveling of his facade, but also in the collateral damage inflicted upon Devon, the woman who stood by his side through thick and thin. Devon's loyalty and all her sacrifices paint a vivid picture of the toll that Donovan's deception takes on all those around him. From financing their vacations to enduring his unreasonable demands, to say the least, Devon has bent over backwards to cater to Donovan's fragile ego. She's even gone as far as undergoing cosmetic surgery to fit his warped vision of perfection. Yet, her efforts are met with public humiliation and belittlement.
So weird. I still am not going to get over that, man. I really don't understand people who like fake tests. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Both directly from Donovan and indirectly from his enemies. As Donovan parades Devon around like a trophy, she becomes a target for his critics, enduring insults and scrutiny for...
Yeah, not just that, but also, again, he puts the energy out there for people to criticize his wife because he's criticizing other people's wives. So
simply being herself. Behind closed doors, one can only imagine the emotional toll this takes on her, but who can blame those who assault Devon? Donovan's online persona not only exposes his own flaws, but also subjects Devon to a barrage of negativity and judgment. When you co-sign your husband saying worse to other women who are in the same situation as you, what do you expect? In Donovan's quest to maintain this false image, he has not only deceived others, but has also sacrificed the well-being and dignity of someone he cared for, and who clearly cares for him deeply as well. This serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of living a life
John Stark
built on lies and manipulation. In the end, the facade crumbles.
Ned Stark. That's better.
The web of lies falls, and all Devon gets in return for her dignity, self-respect, and the opportunity to find a loving partner for her and her daughter are a pair of fakes, a dying YouTube channel and brand, and a psychopath as
Again, dude, I think that this guy loves her, and he lets her put a dildo in his ass. So I think that it's all a show for money, because that's his brand, and that's what I think, dude. That's what I'm thinking.
Husband. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made it this far, you clearly enjoy video essays, and more importantly, you enjoy mine. So subscribe for more content like this.
It's a pretty good video.
Regularly. I open up channel memberships for those of you who want to support me. My videos are all demonetized or limited monetization.
Really? Why?
Because of the nature of the videos. Even though I censor very thoroughly, but the nature of my videos are not something I'm willing to change just to be monetized. This is a hobby of mine, so any support does help. Plus, if you're a member, you get a bunch of cool perks like early access to videos, sneak peeks, and even helping me with topics. With that being said, more documentaries soon, and peace out, y'all.
All right. Well, that was pretty good, man. Yeah, exactly. Hey, what's going on, bro? That's the guy who made the videos in here. Yeah, no, it was a good video, man. I liked it a lot. It was pretty solid, brother. It was a solid video. That's all I have to say. This guy's a fucking clown. This Donovan Sharp guy. So, yeah, he's a clown to the red pillars, which is even funnier because that is a literal fucking clown show.